Chapter 323 The Four Evils of Windless City 4. When Lung Ruoxue and her grandfather saw this general's mansion, which was identical to the one on the Ling Feng continent, they were so touched that tears welled up in their eyes and threatened to spill over. Their beasts were really too considerate. Unfortunately, her elder brother was still in seclusion and had yet to see this new home. After dinner, Lung Ruoxue and Freak returned to the Purple Bamboo House to continue learning mystic skills. After 2 days, Lung Ruoxue finally mastered all the mystic skills proficiently. The greatest advantage of mystic skills over spiritual skills was that they were more powerful. They were only elementary mystic skills, but they were more powerful than heavenly spiritual skills. Schwer, shall we go out for a walk? Freak suggested after seeing that Schwer had already finished learning. Okay. Lung Ruoxue knew that Freak had been staying by her side all the time for the past 2 days. Although he would occasionally take advantage of her, he was probably bored to death. Then where should we go? Freak asked excitedly. I'm going to spend some time alone with Schwer. Let's go shopping on the streets. Lung Ruoxue didn't know where to go either, but they had yet to go around the streets. Okay. Freak didn't care where they went. He just wanted to be alone with Schwer. But there were always third wheels disturbing him in the space. The two of them left the bracelet, exited the guest room, and ran into the waiter downstairs. Are you two going out? The waiter asked respectfully. Yes, we're going out for a walk, Lung Ruoxue said lightly. The waiter looked around cautiously and whispered, Dear guests, I advise you not to go out today. Why is that? Lung Ruoxue's curiosity was piqued. Because today is the day the city lord's daughter chooses her husband, the waiter said with a strange expression. What does her choosing her husband have to do with us? Lung Ruoxue asked in puzzlement. Are ordinary people prohibited from going on the streets when the city lord's daughter chooses her husband? If so, they're a little too overbearing. Miss, to be honest, the daughter of the city lord of Windless City hates women who are more beautiful than her the most. She usually thinks of various ways to get rid of such women when she meets them. And she loves handsome men the most, especially stunningly beautiful men. Any man she wants can't run away from her. Almost all the good-looking men in Windless City, except for President Lon of the Mystic Association, have fallen into her hands. You two happen to fit the likes and dislikes of the city lord's daughter, so I advise you not to go out today to avoid getting into trouble, the waiter advised earnestly. She's just the daughter of a city lord. How can she be so lawless? Lung Ruoxue really couldn't understand. To her knowledge, the city lord of Windless City didn't even seem to be a mystic. What could his daughter rely on to do whatever she wanted so wantonly? There's nothing we can do. He has a strong backer, and no one dares to provoke him, the waiter said disdainfully. Do you mean the Sun family? Lung Ruoxue asked. Not only the Sun family but also the Artificer Association. The city lord's daughter is said to be a rare 1-in-100-year talented artificer. Moreover, she is the beloved disciple of the Boundless Heaven Continent's Artificer Association's vice president, the waiter explained. Artificer Association? No wonder she's so arrogant. Lung Ruoxue said disdainfully. What she hated the most were the second-generation rich children who relied on their status and power to lord over others. But it was no wonder she was so rampant with the Artificer Association backing her. After all, only the 5 major associations were comparable to the 3 great families on the Boundless Heaven continent. After hearing about the glorious deeds of the city lord's daughter, Lung Ruoxue was surprised to find that the women she had encountered on the Ling Feng continent were really nothing. Compared with the city lord's daughter, those women's behavior seemed much more childish. Thus, the citizens of Windless City privately named the city lord's daughter as one of the 4 evils of Windless City, the waiter said with a chuckle. For evils? Who else is there? Lung Ruoxue asked curiously. Flies, mosquitoes, cockroaches, and the city lord's daughter, the waiter said very smoothly. Lung Ruoxue was at a loss for words. Rats were among the 4 evils she knew, but now the rats had been replaced by the city lord's daughter. This was really... Guess. Don't leave the inn for the next few days. I'm saying this for your own good, the waiter reminded worriedly. Thank you. May I know where the city lord's daughter will be choosing her husband? Lung Ruoshu asked. Why are you asking? Don't go and watch the commotion. The waiter said worriedly. Alas. He really didn't want such a beautiful girl to perish. Hee, don't worry. We won't go. Although Lung Ruoshue wasn't afraid of trouble, she was new here after all, so she wouldn't cause trouble if possible. After all, a strong dragon couldn't suppress a local snake. Oh, that's good. The city lord's daughter will be choosing her husband on East Street. It should be under martial law now, the waiter said. Hee, thanks for the news. Lung Ruoshue took out a purple gold coin and stuffed it into the waiter's hand as a reward. Then she walked out of the inn with Freak. The waiter stood still while looking foolishly at the pair leaving as he muttered in his head, Didn't I make it clear? Why do they still want to go out? Schwer, where are we going to shop? Freak asked after leaving the inn. Wherever you want, Lung Ruoshue said nonchalantly. She came out to be with Freak. The city lord's daughter is in the east. Let's go north. Freak said after some thought. Okay. Lung Ruoshue nodded, and the two walked toward North Street together. North Street was in the north of Windless City and was a rather bustling street. There were shops lining both sides of the street, but there were few pedestrians on the street. Schwer, let's have a bowl of noodles. The two of them walked around for a while before Freak happened to see a noodle stall on the street, so the idea of eating noodles came to his mind. Chapter 324. The Four Evils of Windless City, 5. Okay. Lung Ruoshue nodded, and the two casually found a couple of seats to sit down. Hello, what would you like to eat? The noodle seller was an old man in his 70s. When he saw customers, he walked to Lung Ruoshue and Freak. Uncle, we want the best noodles you have, Lung Ruoshue said after some thought. Okay. Wait a moment. The old man turned around and left happily. A few minutes later, he brought 2 bowls of steaming noodles. Just as Lung Ruoshue and Freak picked up their chopsticks and were about to taste the noodles, a young man knocked over their table. The 2 bowls of noodles fell to the ground with a plop, directly feeding the ground. Freak grabbed the young man's collar and roared angrily, Compensate us. I'm sorry. I didn't do it on purpose. Someone is chasing after me, the young man said apologetically and kept apologizing. Even if someone is chasing you, couldn't you have run somewhere else? Why did you have to knock into our table? Freak shouted furiously. I'm sorry. I really didn't do it on purpose. Hurry up and run. It will be too late if you don't, the young man said anxiously. He tried his best to break free from Freak's grasp, but he couldn't break free no matter what. Why should we run? Is there a tiger behind us? Lung Ruoshue asked in puzzlement. Isn't this man the one being chased? Why do we have to run too? It's even more terrifying than a tiger. Zhu Muden is chasing after me. Run. The young man said anxiously. When the old man selling noodles heard the name Zhu Muden, he was so scared that he ran away without caring about his stall. Who is Zhu Muden? A pig with a peony on its head one? Lung Ruoshue asked curiously. How can you not know who Zhu Muden is? She's part of the famous 4 evils of Windless City, the daughter of the city lord, the young man said anxiously. He really wanted to die. How could he be unlucky as to meet these 2 ignorant brats? What was more infuriating was that these 2 people were still holding on to him tightly. Ooh. Isn't she choosing a husband on East Street? Lung Ruoshue still didn't know that she and Freak had been classified as idiots by this man. I am her chosen husband, the young man roared. Congratulations, Lung Ruoshue said with a smile while looking at the man being held captive by Freak. The man was about 20 years old. He was tall and had a handsome appearance with an extraordinary temperament. He was indeed a rare handsome man, but he was far inferior to Freak. Congratulations, my ass. I'll give you 2 choices. Either let me go or kill me, the young man said with a demeanor welcoming death. Why should we kill you? It's good to be the city lord's son-in-law. That's an iron rice bowl. You will have a backer in the future, Lung Ruoshue teased. Who cares? Zhu Muden already has 18 husbands. The young man said disdainfully. 18 husbands? Amazing. Lung Ruoshue was stupefied. The young man gritted his teeth and said resolutely, "What must I do for you to let me go? State your conditions. I'll do anything." The young man looked at Freak and continued, "Moreover, don't blame me for not reminding you. The two of you are also in danger. You are a stunningly beautiful man and a stunning beauty, so Zhu Mutin will definitely not let you go. Therefore, leaving this place earlier will be beneficial for us. Don't even think about leaving today." An extremely arrogant voice sounded in their ears. Lung Ruoxue raised her beautiful eyes and sized up the owner of the voice. "Is this one of the four evils of Windless City?" The woman in front of her was between 20 to 30 years old. She was tall and strong-looking, a little like an orangutan. Her skin was dark, but her figure was curvy. As for her facial features, they were quite complete, and there was everything that should be there. But her eyes, which obviously had signs of excessive overindulgence, were currently releasing a lusty glow. Her not-so-large eyes were staring intently at the young man and Freak. At this moment, Lung Ruoxue suddenly remembered what the waiter said. The city lord's daughter hated women who were more beautiful than her the most. But with this woman's appearance, it was really not easy to find someone uglier than her. Upon seeing this woman, Lung Ruoxue really wanted to ask, "Which zoo did you come out from? Why were the gates of the zoo so weak? Even gorillas run out. Who are you?" Lung Ruoxue's beautiful face was full of question marks. "I am the famous daughter of the city lord, Zhu Mutin. How can you not know me? Damn it." Zhu Mutin was instantly angered when she heard that someone didn't know her. "I'm sorry. I've only heard of the famous four evils of Windless City, but I don't know the city lord's daughter," Lung Ruoxue said lightly with a gentle smile. "It doesn't matter if you don't know. I'll let you know me now," Zhu Mutin said, seemingly generous. "Thank you. I know you now." 2 drops of cold sweat dripped down Lung Ruoxue's forehead. "By the way, did you just say that none of us can run away today?" Lung Ruoxue asked doubtfully. "That's right," Zhu Mutin said confidently. "Then what do you want to do with us?" Lung Ruoxue was really curious. "I'm going to kill you, and then keep these 2 men as my 19th and 20th husbands," Zhu Mutin boasted shamelessly with her mouth wide open. "Oh!" Lung Ruoxue deliberately dragged her voice. Her beautiful eyes looked at the young man and Freak, but she saw that the young man had the words, "I was right. It was better to run early," written on his face. "Can you manage so many husbands?" Lung Ruoxue asked curiously. "No problem. My wish is to have 3,000 in my harem. I only have a few now," Zhu Mutin said proudly. Lung Ruoxue was speechless. This woman is really extraordinary. How could she say something like that? Chapter 325. Eliminating Evil for the People, 1. "So? Isn't my wish grand?" Zhu Mutin said confidently. "Yes, very grand. But will there be so many men willing to marry you?" Lung Ruoxue asked while suppressing her smile. "Of course. I'm a rare artificing genius. It's their honor to be able to marry me. They couldn't be happier, so how could they not be willing?" Zhu Mutin raised her head high, so proud that her tail was about to curl up. "That seems reasonable," Lung Ruoxue echoed. "Woman, it's useless even if you flatter me. You're dead meat." Zhu Mutin roared with jealousy. She hated beautiful women. Lung Ruoxue was stunned. Flatter her? What kind of understanding does this lady have? When did I flatter her? This pig peony really thinks too highly of herself. "Come, kill this woman and bring these 2 men back to the mansion," Zhu Mutin ordered her subordinates. "Miss, can we play with this woman before killing her?" a wretched-looking middle-aged man said lecherously. "No problem. I'll reward you with this woman," Zhu Mutin said generously. "Wait, you're not related to me in any way. What right do you have to decide my affairs?" Lung Ruoxue asked speechlessly as several black lines rolled down her forehead. "Aren't these people a little too arrogant? Aren't they afraid of kicking an iron plate? We haven't even done anything yet, but they've already distributed the ownership of me and Freak." Zhu Mutin pouted and said arrogantly, "I am almighty in Windless City and can decide everything here." Not necessarily. This man has nothing to do with me. You can take him. But the other one is mine. You're not allowed to touch a single strand of his hair. Lung Ruoxue pointed at the young man and then Freak. She's actually abducting a man in broad daylight on the streets and even wants to try snatching Freak away. She really has no eyes. Schwer. Freak looked at Lung Ruoxue lovingly, his bright black eyes shining. After hearing what Lung Ruoxue said, the young man almost vomited blood in anger. Ooh, what kind of person is this? They were comrades in the trenches now, so how could they be so heartless? I want these two men, and you're dead meat. Zhu Muden roared with jealousy. How dare he flirt with another woman in front of me? I'll teach him a lesson when we get back. At this moment, she had already regarded Freak as her possession. Will you get him just because you say so? Do you really think you're an emperor? Lung Ruoxue said impatiently. I am the emperor in Windless City. Zhu Muden boasted shamelessly. Wrong. You are one of the four evils of Windless City hated by everyone, Lung Ruoxue said indifferently with mockery. What did you say? How dare you say that our young lady is one of the four evils of Windless City? Do you really want to die? The wretched middle-aged man jumped out and scolded loudly before Zhu Muden could say anything. Isn't it so? Don't you often curse your young lady as one of the four evils of Windless City in your head? Lung Ruoxue said lightly with a faint smile. This was what Baby told her through voice transmission just now. Nonsense. Miss, I've never scolded you. Don't listen to this woman's nonsense, the middle-aged man denied while looking at Zhu Muden in fear. Don't worry. I won't believe this woman's instigation, Zhu Muden comforted. I'm not stupid. That was close. The middle-aged man broke out in a cold sweat. He knew better than anyone how vicious his young lattice methods were, so he was really scared just now. Fortunately, she didn't believe this woman's words. This woman is really too despicable. She actually dared to sow discord between me and Mississippi. I must torture her later. He couldn't help fantasizing about all the things he would do to her in his head. Big sister, this man said he will torture you later, Baby continued via voice transmission. Oh, Baby, big sister knows, Lung Ruoxue said. Incompetent, what are you waiting for? Hurry up and attack. Zhu Muden ordered loudly. Yes, miss, the middle-aged man called incompetent quickly replied. I'm ready to attack even if miss didn't say anything. Wait. Freak, who had been silent, suddenly said. Beauty, do you have anything to say to big sister? Zhu Muden said with a smile. She couldn't help appreciating him in her head. Beautiful, too beautiful. This man is more beautiful than the 18 husbands in my mansion. I have to obtain this man. Only I am worthy of such beauty. This is your chosen husband. I'll return him to you. Freak pushed the man in his hand toward Zhu Muden. The young man didn't expect Freak's move at all, so he pounced directly at Zhu Muden without any mental preparation. Because of the momentum, he pressed Zhu Muden onto the ground. You're too anxious. We're in public. Freak said in surprise. In fact, there was no one on the street at this time. The few people here earlier were scared away when Zhu Muden appeared. Hearing what Freak said, the young man fainted from anger. Zhu Muden's immediate reaction was, It's over. The beauty is jealous. Zhu Muden crawled up from the ground awkwardly. She didn't even bother cleaning up the dirt on her body before immediately saying, Beauty, don't misunderstand. Don't worry. I won't misunderstand, Freak said with a gentle smile on his lips. That's good. Zhu Muden patted her chest, finally at ease. You have nothing to do with me, so why should I be jealous because of you? Freak said coldly as he stretched out his arm and pulled Lung Ruoxue into his arms. He had lived for so long, but he had never seen a woman who liked to flatter herself so much. In a way, this woman could be considered top grade. Chapter 326, Eliminating Evil for the People, 2. You. How dare you say that we have nothing to do with each other? How dare you? You are the man I, Zhu Muden, have my eyes on. Let go of that woman quickly, or I will punish you according to the family law. Zhu Muden roared, the flames of jealousy burning in her eyes. Idiot! Freak said coldly and ignored her. Incompetent! Go! Kill that woman! Zhu Muden ordered in anger. I won't go easy this time. Yes, miss. Brothers, let's quickly teach this woman a lesson for miss. Roared the middle-aged man, who had wanted to attack several times but was interrupted. Let's go vent miss anger for her, the lackeys cooperatively. They waved the long sabers in their hands, slashing at Lung Ruoxue and Freak. Just kill that woman. Don't hurt my beauty, Zhu Muden quickly reminded. Miss, don't worry. We won't hurt your husband, the middle-aged man promised. Lung Ruoxue and Freak looked at these self-righteous people and were very puzzled. How could they be so confident? Where did this confidence come from? Freak hugged Lung Ruoxue and agilely dodged all the attacks before saying pitifully, Schwer, I'm so scared. Don't be scared. I'll protect you well, Lung Ruoxue comforted cooperatively. How dare you? Do you think I need you to protect my man? Beauty, don't be scared. They will only kill that woman and won't hurt you. Zhu Muden roared angrily while glaring at Lung Ruoxue. But when she looked at Freak, her expression changed rapidly. The change was so fast that it was dizzying. Your man? Didn't your man faint? Lung Ruoxue reminded kindly. They are both my men. Zhu Muden roared. Why are you so useless? It's been so long but you can't even kill a woman, Zhu Muden shouted at her subordinates. Miss, it's not our fault. They're as slippery as loaches. We can't hit them. The middle-aged man said aggrievedly. Yes, Mississippi. These two people are too good at hiding, the other subordinate also complained. They kept swinging the large sabers in their hands, but they couldn't even touch Lung Ruoxue's and Freak's clothes. I'll do it. Zhu Muden planned to do it herself. Freak, looks like Pig Peony plans to do it herself, said Lung Ruoxue, who had been teasing the lackeys. Yes. Freak nodded. At this moment, a black rod about the size of an adult's arm appeared in Zhu Muden's hand. The two ends actually had different thicknesses, and they were full of sharp barbs. Today, I'll let you have a taste of my power. No one I want to kill has ever survived. Zhu Muden smashed the rod at Lung Ruoxue fiercely. Freak hugged Lung Ruoxue and dodged the rod's attack. But suddenly, the spikes on the rod separated from the rod and surrounded the two of them from all directions. Are these hidden weapons? Lung Ruoxue looked at these spikes doubtfully. They were surrounding her and Freak, waiting to charge at them, and were quite similar to her feather of the fire phoenix. This is a sacred artifact my master gave him. For you to witness its power today, it's a worthy death. Zhu Peony laughed arrogantly. Oh, then let me try its power. Lung Ruoxue said calmly. Oh, this sacred artifact is quite novel. The rod and hidden weapons actually combine together. Not bad. Seems that the master of Pig Peony is also a talent in refining artifacts. Die! Zhu Muden roared and activated the spikes. But what happened next surprised her a little because flames actually lit up around Lung Ruoxue and Freak for some reason, enveloping them. Zhu Muden was dumbfounded. What's going on? Is she self-immolating? Beauty, my beauty. Damn it. If you want to die, die by yourself. Why are you dragging my beauty along? What are you waiting for? Hurry up and put out the fire. My beauty, Zhu Muden roared at her subordinates. Oh! The lackeys were about to step forward to put out the fire, but they found they couldn't get close at all because the temperature of the fire was too high. They would probably be grilled before they could get close. Miss, the fire is too hot. We can't get close, a lackey said bitterly. Useless things. Zhu Muden roared. She was as anxious as an ant on a hot pan, and blood was dripping nonstop from her heart. Boo! The beauty in my hands is flying away. At this moment, the young man who had fainted woke up. Seeing the situation in front of him, he was shocked. But he sincerely admired Lung Ruoxue and Freak from the bottom of his heart. They really had backbone. They would rather die than submit. You're awake. Great. Zhu Muden was elated to see the unconscious man wake up. Fortunately, she still had a handsome man. At least her efforts were not in vain. After hearing what Zhu Mutant said, the young man rolled his eyes and fainted again. Seems he was scared by the fire. Zhu Mutant thought, not knowing that this was all because of her. Where are my hidden weapons? When Zhu Mutant's gaze turned to the flames, she found that all her hidden weapons had disappeared, and the two people in the flames were actually still alive and well. What's going on? How is this possible? Swear, this mystic skill isn't bad. Freak praised in the flames. Yes. Although it's only an elementary mystic skill, it seems pretty effective. Lung Ruoxue had the same feeling. This was a new mystic skill she had learned, Blazing Mountain, a fire attribute mystic skill usable for offense and defense. She was very satisfied. Swear, what should we do with this pig? Freak asked in disgust. Make roasted pig. It can also be considered getting rid of evil for the people, Lung Ruoxue said lightly. She didn't want to leave a disaster that wanted to kill her in this world. Moreover, this bitch actually dared to have designs on Freak. Chapter 327. Eliminating Evil for the People, 3. Okay, let's do it cleanly and kill everyone here. Freak said coldly. Okay. Lung Ruoxue nodded and then controlled her flames to attack Pig Peony and her lackeys. In the blink of an eye, Pig Peony and her group were on fire. I'm on fire. Hurry up and put out the fire. Zhu Mutant screamed in panic. But her subordinates were only concerned about the fire on their bodies, so why would they bother about her? In an instant, the flames devoured Zhu Muda, and there weren't even any ashes left. The others didn't escape Zhu Mutant's ending either. Swear, what about this man? Freak pointed at the fainted man. Lung Ruoxue put away the flames and said coldly, Kill him. But don't kill me. I want to sell you out. The young man was so scared that his entire body was trembling. He hurriedly got up from the ground and looked at them with a flattering expression on his face. Heavens! These two people are too terrifying. They even dared to kill Zhu Mutant. Boo! Why am I so unlucky? Will they really silence me? Weren't you pretending to be dead? Lung Ruoxue said with a spurious smile. I just woke up, the young man said awkwardly. Boo! I don't have it easy. Swear, let's kill him for the sake of safety. Only the dead won't betray us, Freak said indifferently with his arms crossed. Yes, I think so too. Lung Ruoxue nodded in agreement. No, don't kill me. I have money. I'll give you all my money. Please let me go. The young man pleaded with tears in his eyes. Do you think we're bandits who kill and rob people? Lung Ruoxue said with slight displeasure as 2 drops of cold sweat dripped down her forehead. No. You are great heroes who rid the world of evil for the people. Really, believe me. The people of the city will be grateful to you, the young man said, full of flattery. There's no need to be grateful. It's good as long as you don't betray us, Lung Ruoxue said lightly. No, I will never betray you. Otherwise, I will die a horrible death. Just as the young man finished speaking, a contract array descended from the sky. Seeing how sincere you are, we won't kill you. Lung Ruoxue suppressed her laughter. He probably didn't expect his words to be taken as an oath. It's what I should do. The young man wanted to cry but had no tears. Why am I so unlucky? Boo! I only said that to express my sincerity. Who knew that the heavens would treat it as a contract? Boo! Freak, let's go back. Lung Ruoxue said to Freak after seeing that the matter was over. Okay. Freak nodded. The two of them turned and left, leaving the young man standing there foolishly. After a long while, the young man returned to his senses and hurriedly left this troublesome place. After returning to the inn, Lung Ruoxue and Freak met the waiter again. Welcome back, the waiter greeted them warmly. Okay, we plan to enter seclusion for a few days. Don't disturb us, Lung Ruoxue ordered. Okay, don't worry. I won't let anyone disturb you, the waiter promised. After returning to their room, Lung Ruoxue and Freak directly entered the bracelet. Swear, will there be any trouble? Lung Qingtian immediately welcomed his granddaughter when he saw her. They had seen what happened in the space just now. Grandpa, don't worry. Those who deserve to die are already dead, Lung Ruoxue comforted. Oh, that's good. Lung Qingtian felt relieved to hear this. Lass, what happened just now was really enjoyable. Count me in if there's another chance like this in the future. Old Zao said, wanting to see the world burn. It's good enough for you to protect yourself. Yet you want to get involved? Old man glared and mocked. I just want to get involved. What's wrong? It makes me happy. Old Zao roared, unwilling to be outdone. Stop arguing, Lung Ruoxue said helplessly. Old Zao, did you see the sacred artifact in Pig Peony's hand? Lung Ruoxue asked. I saw it. Good creativity, but lousy technique and ugly appearance, Old Zao said with contempt. As a good artificer, not only did you have to have good creativity, but your refined equipment had to be beautiful in addition to being powerful. Yes. Lung Ruoxue nodded. She wasn't too satisfied with the lousy rod either. It was too crude. Lass, I have a good idea. But you have to cooperate with me, Old Zao suddenly said mysteriously. Okay. Lung Ruoxue nodded. Old Zao piqued her curiosity. Ah, lass, let's give it a try now. Old Zao said impatiently. He had thought of this idea for a long time, but he had never had the chance to try it because of his limited capabilities. Let's go. Lung Ruoxue dragged Freak and left with Old Zao. The three of them arrived at the artificing workshop that Old Zao had built in the space. Lass, how is it? This place isn't bad, right? Old Zao said proudly after entering the artificing workshop. Lung Ruoxue's beautiful eyes sized up the workshop's environment and then nodded. Not bad. Although Old Zao's artificing workshop was not very big, it had everything. In addition to a furnace in the middle of the workshop, all the materials and items needed for artificing were actually piled in the corner. This place is so messy, Freak couldn't help saying. Don't you think it's very convenient like this? Old Zao insisted. Laziness is laziness. You're just finding excuses. Freak rolled his eyes at Old Zao speechlessly. I really think it's more convenient this way. Old Zao quibbled. Old Zao, what do you want to refine? Lung Ruoxue ignored their conversation. Chapter 328, Eliminating Evil for the People, 4. I need to use this. Old Zao held a pitch black ore in his hand. Is this black crystal ore? Lung Ruoxue asked doubtfully. Why is this black crystal ore different from the ones I've seen before? This is a black crystal ore core I obtained by chance. It's extremely hard and my flame can't melt it, so I need your help, Old Zao explained. Oh, then let's begin. Lung Ruoxue said. Lass, use your flame to light the furnace for me. Old Zao sat cross-legged in front of the furnace. Okay. Lung Ruoxue released a small flame at her fingertips and threw it into the furnace. But the small flame melted the furnace in the blink of an eye. My furnace! Old Zao exclaimed loudly, his heart aching. Ooh! This was my best furnace. Wait, wasn't the girl's flame a divine flame? My master passed down this furnace, so it should be able to withstand divine flames. Lass, let me see your flame again, Old Zao said doubtfully. Okay. Lung Ruoxue released a small flame from her fingertips and handed it to Old Zao. Old Zao jumped up in shock. Hot, so hot. Lass, keep your flame away from me. Lung Ruoxue helplessly moved the flame away. Is this far enough? Yes. Old Zao widened his eyes and carefully observed the small flame that was only the size of a fingernail. This flame seemed to be a little different from the last time he saw it. It seemed to be hotter. The flame used to be red with purple, but the purple wasn't obvious. But now, the proportion of purple seemed to be getting larger, and it had become a little more transparent. Could the flame have evolved? After observing for a long time, Old Zao asked uncertainly, Lass, has your flame evolved? Yes, it has already evolved twice, Lung Ruoxue said lightly. The reason her flame evolved was entirely due to her heaven-defying art. Moreover, her flame could evolve every time she cultivated to another level of the heaven-defying art. But her flame would only be in the most perfect state when she cultivated to the 5th level of heaven-defying art. If she cultivated her heaven-defying art to the 9th level, her flame would be in the most extreme state. Old Zao was speechless. He had lived for so long, and this was the first time he had heard that flames could evolve. Not only did this little monster's flame evolve, but it had actually evolved twice. This was so infuriating. I don't want to live anymore. Boo. Plus, you destroyed my furnace. Old Zao said with a long face. I didn't do it on purpose. It's because your furnace isn't sturdy, Lung Ruoxue said somewhat guiltily. Not sturdy? This furnace belonged to my master's 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 masters. It was handed down generation after generation. We used it for thousands of years, and it was always fine, but you destroyed it all at once. Boo. I don't want to live anymore. I don't have the face to see our old ancestors from my artificing lineage anymore. Boo-hoo, old Zao wailed while praying in his heart. Bless. Hurry up and say it. Compensate me. Lung Ruoxue looked at the crying old Zao with a face full of black lines. She was speechless. Wasn't it just an artificing furnace? Why does it seem like his relatives died? Alas. Does he have to go that far? Alright, stop crying. I'll compensate you with one. Lung Ruoxue surrendered. Really? Then I want a good one, old Zao said, pushing his luck. Hee, I was waiting for this sentence. This girl has so many good things. Therefore, he had to seize the opportunity. Don't worry. My trashiest ones are better than yours, Lung Ruoxue said honestly. Among the things her master had left her, there were also many artificing and alchemy furnaces. But they had been piled in the utility room, and she had no time to organize them. Hee, let's go get it now. Old Zao said impatiently. Let's go. The three of them left old Zao's artificing workshop and headed straight for the purple bamboo house. Schwer, you finished so quickly? Lung Qingtian, who was sitting on a stone bench, asked curiously. No. My flame melted old Zao's furnace, so I have to compensate him with one, Lung Ruoxue explained. Little girl. Don't fall for old Zao's trick. The quality of old Zao's furnace was probably too poor. Old man reminded. Nonsense. It was the artificing treasure passed down for generations in my lineage. How could the quality be poor? Old Zao stomped his feet in anger. You also said it was passed down for generations. It must have been used for too long and became a little old. Old man deliberately argued. Bullshit. I've never heard of an aging furnace. Old Zao was so angry that he clenched his teeth. He really wanted to go up and bite him ruthlessly, but he couldn't beat him. Boo. Lass. Old Zao knew that he couldn't do anything to old man, so he looked at Lung Ruoxue pitifully, hoping that the girl could uphold justice for him. Don't you want a furnace? Come in and choose quickly. Lung Ruoxue said helplessly. She couldn't do anything to these two bickering old men. Oh, let's go quickly, old Zao urged while looking at old man provocatively. The three of them walked into the purple bamboo house. Lung Ruoxue led old Zao into the utility room and pointed at the various artificing furnaces placed randomly by the wall. Choose yourself. Hee, lass, I won't hold back then. Old Zao's eyes lit up as he drooled. Then he rushed toward the furnaces. Lung Ruoxue and Freak found a random place to sit down not far from old Zao. Old Zao was half lying in the pile of artificing furnaces, looking left and right. But he didn't know what to choose because in his eyes, every single one of these furnaces was top grade and the favorites of artificers. Boo. I want every one of them. What should I do? He was very conflicted. Chapter 329. Eliminating Evil for the People, 5. Schwer, guess which one he will choose? Freak, sitting not far away, asked curiously. I guess he won't choose any, Lung Ruoxue said understandingly. Why? Freak didn't believe that old Zao wouldn't choose. After all, an artificer's furnace was as important as their life to an artificer. Because he won't be able to decide. Can't you see how conflicted he is? Lung Ruoxue said with some amusement. That's true. Freak nodded in realization. At this moment, old Zeos' voice sounded. Plus, help me choose one. I don't know which to choose. Boo-hoo, he was dazzled. Just take any one. Any one is better than the one you had. Lung Ruoxue sighed lightly. Alright, I want this then. Old Zeo chose a beautiful one. Since you've chosen, let's continue refining artifacts. Lung Ruoxue urged. Okay, old Zeo answered. Holding his new furnace, he left the utility room with Lung Ruoxue and Freak. The three of them returned to old Zeo's artificing workshop without delay. Plus, light a fire for me again. Old Zeo looked at his new furnace lovingly as though he was looking at his beloved. Okay. Lung Ruoxue released another small flame at old Zeo's request and lit the furnace. This time, the furnace finally withstood the test and didn't melt. After the furnace was lit, old Zeo waited patiently for it to heat up. When the temperature reached his requirements, he immediately threw the black crystal or core into the furnace. After a few minutes, it melted bit by bit. After the black crystal or core melted into a black liquid, old Zeo threw the other materials he had prepared into the furnace one by one. Lung Ruoxue and Freak stood quietly by the side, appreciating old Zeo's art of artificing. Meanwhile, the city lord's mansion was in a mess. In the main hall of the city lord's mansion, a beautiful middle-aged woman was crying while half kneeling on the ground. She hugged a middle-aged man's thigh tightly and wailed, "Husband, Muden is missing. Boo! Hurry up and send people to look for her." "Stop crying. You're annoying," the ordinary-looking middle-aged man roared impatiently. He was the city lord of Windless City, Zhu Binghuan. "Husband, Muden is your most beloved daughter and the most promising daughter of our Zhu family. She hasn't returned for so long. Aren't you worried at all?" The middle-aged woman cried. "Of course I'm worried. I've already sent people to look for her," Zhu Binghuan said with a slight headache. Alas, this daughter of his was good in every way, but she was too lustful. Whenever she saw a beautiful man, she wanted to snatch him home. She already had 18 husbands, but she still felt that it wasn't enough. He really couldn't do anything about this. The only thing he could do was to try his best to satisfy his daughter's lust. After all, Muden was the Zhu family's greatest hope. He knew that his life would be like this for the rest of his life. Although he couldn't convert his spiritual power and become a mystic, he had become a city lord with his connections with the Sun family at the very least. However, outsiders could only see his glory, but no one knew his difficulties. Even though he was the lord of a city on the surface, he was only a dog of the Sun family. He didn't even dare to breathe loudly in front of the Sun family. Therefore, he had always hoped that there would be someone outstanding among his children. So after finally producing a daughter with talent in artificing, he really spoiled this daughter to the heavens. After all, his position in the Sun family improved a lot by having a relationship with the Artificer Association. "Husband, it's been so long, but we still haven't found Muden. Do you think something has happened to our daughter?" The middle-aged woman said worriedly. "Shut up. Don't jinx it." Zhu Binghuan roared. The future of their Zhu family counted on this daughter. Therefore, he would never allow anything to happen to her. Moreover, he didn't think that anyone would dare to bully his precious daughter in Windless City. At this moment, the steward came to report. "Master, the people we sent out to look for Miss have returned, but we didn't find her." Zhu Binghuan raised his eyes slightly and asked, "Have you searched all of Windless City?" "We've searched, but we didn't find her. However, someone saw Miss chasing after a man," the steward said carefully. "Chasing a man? Which family's man did she chase after?" Zhu Binghuan roared furiously. This damn girl was really troublesome. They were worried about her at home, but she ran out to chase a man. "It seems to be a man from another city." The steward told him the situation that his subordinate had reported to him. "What does that man look like? Has anyone seen him?" Zhu Binghuan asked. "He's very handsome. Master, according to the description of the informers, I ordered people to draw a picture of him. I believe that as long as we find him, we will definitely be able to find Miss," the steward reminded. "Easy for you to say. Where can we find a man that's not native?" Zhu Binghuan roared furiously. Master, Windless City is your territory. We will find that man as long as he hasn't left Windless City, the steward comforted. Makes sense. Take the portrait and look around the inns in the city. Zhu Binghuan ordered. Yes, master. I'll go now. The steward received the order and left. Inside the heaven and earth bracelet. In old Zeos artificing workshop, Lung Ruoxue and Freak were staring at old Zeos artificing when Qingju's voice suddenly sounded in Lung Ruoxue's head. Big sister, people are coming from outside, Qingju reminded via voice transmission. Oh. Lung Ruoxue asked curiously. Seems to be from the city lord's mansion, Qingju replied. Okay, I understand, Lung Ruoxue said. But she couldn't help guessing in her heart why the people from the city lord's mansion were here. Could they already know that I killed Zhu Muten? Impossible. There was no one on the street at the time, and even the owners closed their shops in fright after seeing Zhu Muten. And the only witness accidentally swore an oath. Chapter 330. Eliminating Evil for the People, 6. Freak, Qingju said people from the city lord's mansion are outside. I'm going out to take a look, Lung Ruoxue whispered. I'll go out with you, Freak said. He was worried about Schwerer going out alone. No need. Stay here. I'll be back after taking a look. Lung Ruoxue flashed out of the bracelet. As soon as Lung Ruoxue exited the heaven and earth bracelet and entered the guest room, she heard an argument outside the door. Outside the room, the waiter stopped the steward from the city lord's mansion who came to search. The waiter mustered his courage and explained, I'm sorry, Steward Zhu. It's not that I don't want to let you go in, but the guests said that no one is allowed to disturb them since they are in seclusion. Seclusion? Is their seclusion more important, or my young lattice whereabouts more important? Can't you tell which is more important? Steward Zhu said loudly with his head raised arrogantly. Of course the whereabouts of the city lord's daughter is important. But to be honest, Steward Zhu, the guests in this room are not to be trifled with. If you really offend the guests, I'm afraid, even the city lord won't be able to save you, the waiter said mysteriously. Who is in the room? Where did these big shots come from? Steward Zhu was a little hesitant when he heard what the waiter said because he was sure that a lowly waiter wouldn't dare to lie to him. After all, he was the city lord's trusted aide, so he probed. How would this little one dare to ask? I'm not tired of living. But Steward Zhu, the guests in this room don't have good tempers. Therefore, I advise you not to barge in forcefully. You probably can't bear the consequences if you interrupt the guest's seclusion. Steward Zhu, these are my heartfelt words. I'm doing this for your own good, the waiter said with a sincere expression. But the city lord will blame me if I don't go in to search. Steward Zhu hesitated. Should he enter or not? What if the people in the room were really people he couldn't afford to offend? Then he would be the unlucky one. The city lord wouldn't offend these big shots to protect him. Steward Zhu, how would the city lord know if you don't tell him? The waiter whispered. But I brought my subordinates with me, Steward Zhu said with a troubled expression. What he implied was that he was afraid that someone would betray him. Steward Zhu, besides the city lord, you have the most authority in the city lord's mansion. They definitely won't dare to betray you, the waiter said flatteringly. That's true, but I can't let my brothers return empty-handed. Steward Zhu's face was full of difficulties. Hee, that makes sense, the waiter said with a smile. Then he secretly stuffed a purple gold coin into Steward Zhu's hands, but he couldn't help cursing in his heart, vampire. Steward Zhu looked at the purple gold coin in his hand. It's a little too little, but it's still something. In that case, we won't disturb their cultivation for now. Well, confirm with them again when they come out of seclusion, Steward Zhu said in a seemingly reasonable manner. After speaking, he led his subordinates and left the second floor of the inn in a grandiose manner. A group of vampires. The waiter standing there couldn't help cursing after Steward Zhu and his group left. You, come in for a bit, Lung Ruoxue said from the room. Yes. The waiter knocked on the door politely and entered. Miss, how may I help you? The waiter asked respectfully after entering the room. Were those people from the city lord's mansion? Lung Ruoxue asked even though she already knew. Yes, the leader is Steward Zhu from the City Lord's mansion, the waiter explained. What are they doing here? Lung Ruoxue pretended to be confused. They said they came here to look for the City Lord's daughter. I heard that the City Lord's daughter chased after a man, the waiter said honestly. This City Lord's daughter is quite open-minded, Lung Ruoxue said mockingly. This continent was also a world where the strong were respected, but there were still many restrictions on women. So Zhu Mutan's behavior was absolutely shocking. She often does things that infuriate both humans and gods just because she's an artificer, the waiter said disdainfully. Thank you for what you did just now. We really don't like being disturbed. Lung Ruoxue said very politely and handed the waiter a tip of 10 purple coins. This is too much. I can't take it, the waiter said quickly, flattered. He had never encountered such a generous guest. You deserve it, Lung Ruoxue said. She was very satisfied with the waiter's performance just now. Thank you for your reward, Mississippi. The waiter accepted the purple gold coins and left the room. Lung Ruoxue returned to the bracelet and saw Freak pouting and staring at her. What's the matter? Lung Ruoxue pretended to be stupid. Don't pretend to be stupid. You actually left me alone and went out by yourself. Boo-hoo, Freak said aggrievedly as his black eyes welled up with tears. The expression on his face was like that of an abandoned puppy, cute and pitiful. Didn't I only go out for a bit before coming back? Lung Ruoxue said helplessly. Freak snorted and ignored her, but his face clearly said, What do you think you should do? Compensate me. Alas. Lung Ruoxue sighed. Then she simply hugged Freak's neck, pulled his head down, and kissed him fiercely on the lips. That's it. Freak said, very displeased. What else? Lung Ruoxue frowned slightly. It is too short, lacking in quality. Freak pouted with dissatisfaction. It's not convenient here, Lung Ruoxue said uncomfortably. Damn Freak, shouldn't you take a look at where we are? This is old Zao's artificing workshop. Old Zao is busy and has no time to care about us, Freak said, his face full of expectation. That won't do either. Blow you first. Lung Ruoxue said, leaving no room for negotiation. You can owe me, but I am going to charge interest. Freak smiled very proudly. Chapter 331. A Tour of the Prison 1. Okay. Lung Ruoxue nodded helplessly. Then the two of them turned their gazes to old Zao, who was refining artifacts. At this moment, the equipment refinement was nearing the end. But old Zao became nervous instead. His eyes widened as he stared at the furnace unblinkingly. Lung Ruoxue and Freak were also staring at the furnace because the liquid inside was in the stage of shaping. They were very curious about what equipment old Zao wanted to refine. When the liquid in the furnace slowly took shape, the equipment old Zao refined finally revealed its true appearance. It was actually a female necklace in the shape of a heart. In the middle of the necklace was a very beautiful, dazzling ruby. After the final tempering and quenching, old Zao finally took the necklace out. Lass, how is it? Pretty, isn't it? Old Zao looked at the necklace in his hand with a happy expression on his old face. My dream has finally come true. Yes, but what is the function of this necklace? Lung Ruoxue asked curiously. Guess. Old Zao's face was full of mystery. Defense. Lung Ruoxue guessed. She didn't expect old Zao to keep her in suspense. Nope. Attack. Lung Ruoxue guessed again. Nope. I can't guess it, Lung Ruoxue said very uncooperatively. I knew you wouldn't be able to guess it. Let me tell you, this necklace combines attack and defense. Moreover, it has the function of invisibility. How is it? Amazing, right? Old Zao said proudly. Yes, the invisibility function is good, Lung Ruoxue praised. Also, do you see this hole? There are hidden weapons inside. I was inspired by that ugly rod. Old Zao pointed at an inconspicuous little hole below the pendant proudly. His equipment was also a sacred artifact, and it was much more beautiful than that lousy rod. Not bad. Lung Ruoxue praised. Old Zao is pretty talented in artificing. So, who do you intend to give the necklace to? Lung Ruoxue asked curiously. No one. I want to use it myself, Old Zao said. Use it yourself? You can't use the necklace yourself, right? Lung Ruoxue's beautiful face was full of question marks. She thought she heard wrongly. Men can also wear necklaces, Old Zao said nonchalantly. Alas, the person he wanted to give it to was no longer in this world, so he could only use it himself. Ooh. Use it yourself then. Lung Ruoxue was a little speechless. Hee, right lass, what did you go out for just now? Old Zao asked curiously. Someone from the city lord's mansion came. I went out to take a look, Lung Ruoxue explained. Oh, is everything all right? Old Zao asked worriedly. Nothing much at the moment. Everyone in the city lord's mansion thinks that Zhu Mutin is chasing after a man. Lung Ruoxue smiled lightly. Seems like it isn't the first time Miss Zhu has done that. Old Zao couldn't help laughing hysterically. Old Zao, let's go out since you're finished refining. Lung Ruoxue said. All right, let's go. I want to show off in front of those old fellows, Old Zao said smugly. Tisich, what's there to show off about? Freak said full of contempt. You don't understand. Old Zao said happily. After exiting Old Zao's artificing workshop, Lung Ruoxue and Freak returned to the purple bamboo house, while Old Zao went to Lung Qingtian and the others to show off his latest achievement. Swear, there is no third wheel now. Freak immediately pulled Lung Ruoxue into his arms as soon as they entered the purple bamboo house. His goal was obvious. There's people outside. Lung Ruoxue said deliberately. Ooh. Swear, how can you play dirty? They want barge in, Freak pouted with dissatisfaction. But Ball will barge in. Lung Ruoxue said with a cunning smile. He'll lock the door and won't let him in, Freak said through gritted teeth. This wasn't the first time that nasty little thing had messed with his plans. Looking at the depressed Freak, Lung Ruoxue was in a good mood. She directly pushed this unbelievably beautiful man onto the bed and threw herself onto him. Why am I becoming more and more of a pervert? I keep wanting to push Freak down. I have to change this habit? Swear, come on. I'll let you do whatever you want, Freak said expectantly as he lay on the bed without resistance. It can't be like this. You have to resist no matter what. I will have a sense of accomplishment so that I can use force. Lung Ruoxue said with some dissatisfaction. I want to bully him properly while looking at his cute appearance. Ooh, I've actually learned bad things. But I can't wait to be bullied by you. Why should I resist? Freak said aggrievedly, tears flashing in his bright black eyes. But, swear, hurry up. Freak urged impatiently. Freak, be more reserved. Lung Ruoxue suggested. I don't want to be more reserved. Freak refused and directly brought his lips to Lung Ruoxue's lips. Alas, Shweta hasn't moved for a long time, so I can only rely on myself. As the saying went, only by doing it himself could he have ample food and clothing. After a long time, Freak stopped. I can't breathe, Lung Ruoxue quickly said after a long kiss. That's good. It'll give you mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Freak smiled seductively and kissed Lung Ruoxue's tender pink lips again. Hey, is Big Sister giving Big Brother mouth-to-mouth resuscitation again? A simple and curious voice sounded in their ears just as they were kissing embarrassed. Lung Ruoxue sat up from Freak in a somewhat disheveled manner. She looked at the fluffy little thing in front of her and smiled helplessly. Alas, I was right. Ball barged in again. Chapter 332, A Tour of the Prison, 2. Yes, Big Brother often feels unwell. Lung Ruoxue braced herself. In that case, Ball will help too. Ball's fluffy little face was full of worry. No need. I'm fine now. Freak hurriedly sat up on the bed in fright. Ball, what are you doing here? What's the matter? Lung Ruoxue held back her smile and hugged the cute little ball. Big Sister, when can Ball advance? Ball sighed with a sad face. Ooh, Everyone has advanced, but I still haven't changed much. Ball, how will you be able to advance? Lung Ruoxue asked curiously. Ball was like baby, different from other beasts, so she didn't know what to do to help their advancement. I need to look for treasures. Moreover, the higher the quality of the treasures I find, the faster my advancement will be, Ball said with slight distress. Ball, don't be anxious. Wait until Big Sister is stronger, and then we can go out to train. You can find many good treasures then, Lung Ruoxue comforted. Okay, Big Sister. When are we leaving this place? Ball asked curiously. We'll leave after Grandpa and the others finish cultivating their elementary mystic skills, Lung Ruoxue explained. Well, it would probably take a few more days for her grandfather and the others to finish cultivating all the mystic skills. Hee Big Sister, I'm going out. Continue giving Big Brother mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Ball said very thoughtfully after chatting for a while. He then flapped his little wings and left the purple bamboo house. This little thing is pretty sensible, Freak said with satisfaction. Freak, isn't it time to eat? Lung Ruoxue asked. Schwer, I still need mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. I want eat first, Freak said coquettishly. But I'm hungry. Lung Ruoxue rubbed her stomach. Eat me. I'm very delicious, Freak recommended himself. Eating you won't fill my stomach. Lung Ruoxue glanced at Freak and then stood up, preparing to leave the purple bamboo house to find something to eat. Schwer, wait for me. I'll go with you. Freak hurriedly followed and grabbed Lung Ruoxue's hand. The two left the purple bamboo house. Grandpa, what do you want to eat later? Lung Ruoxue and Freak found Lung Qingtian and the others. Schwer, you came at the right time. We were just discussing that we want to head out to eat. Lung Qingtian said when he saw his granddaughter. What are we going out to eat? Lung Ruoxue asked curiously. Why are Grandpa and the others suddenly interested in the food outside? We just want to go out and look for something we haven't eaten before. Lung Qingtian explained. Oh. Lung Ruoxue understood after hearing what her grandfather said. These old men were bored and wanted to go out for a walk. Then let's go out together. Lung Ruoxue continued. Okay. Lung Qingtian smiled happily. After tidying up simply, Lung Ruoxue and the others left the room. Miss, you have to be careful when you go out. The city lord's daughter hasn't been found yet. I heard that the city lord has already cordoned off most of Windless City. They met the waiter again when they walked to the inn's lobby. Thank you. Well, be careful, Lung Ruoxue said. After exiting the inn, Lung Ruoxue and the others arrived at a neighboring street from the inn. Grandpa, I heard that the Jade Bamboo Pavilion is the best restaurant in Windless City. Why don't we take a look there? Lung Ruoxue suggested. Okay. Everyone nodded and then walked into the Jade Bamboo Pavilion on the street. Lung Ruoxue and the others walked into the restaurant and specially found a window seat. A waiter hurriedly came forward and greeted them warmly as soon as they sat down. Hello, is this your first time at our Jade Bamboo Pavilion? What would you like to eat? Serve us your signature dishes. Lung Ruoxue said after some thought. Okay, please wait a moment. The waiter turned and left. A bit later, the waiter returned to their table with a few plates of steaming food. Everyone, these are the best signature dishes of our restaurant. Please enjoy, the waiter said very respectfully and then left. Grandpa, quickly try it. Lung Ruoxue urged. This should be the first meal they had outside since coming to the Boundless Heaven continent. They look pretty good, Lung Qingtian said while looking at the dishes on the table. Well, no, after we try, Lung Ruoxue said. To be honest, she wasn't very interested in the food outside now. But in order not to dampen the spirits of her grandfather and the others, she was the first to raise her chopsticks, pick up a piece of grilled meat, and put it in her mouth. It tastes good, but the quality of the raw ingredients isn't very good, Old Man evaluated after eating a mouthful of food. Tich, isn't it obvious? Do we need you to tell us? Old Zao said disdainfully. You damn old man, no one will think you're a mute if you don't speak, Old Man roared. Lung Ruoxue was a little speechless as she looked at the two old men fighting like chickens and said helplessly, Why are you two arguing non-stop when we're eating? That's right. Stop it at once and eat properly. Lung Qingshan's face was stern as he glared at the two old men. They immediately shut their mouths obediently. At this moment, a young woman suddenly appeared from nowhere and rushed to their table. She begged with tears all over her face, "Kind people, save me." Woo-woo, but no one bothered with her. "Kind people, save me. I'm willing to do anything to repay you." The woman continued, unwilling to give up. "What's going on?" Lung Ruoxue asked the waiter nearby with some displeasure. I'm sorry everyone. I'll get her to leave now," the waiter said quickly. "Leave this place quickly. This isn't a place you can come." With a displeased face, the waiter pulled the woman up. Chapter 333, A Tour of the Prison, 3. Please take pity on me. Save me. You can't leave me in the lurch. The woman wept, her beautiful face full of tears. Can't leave her in the lurch? Lung Ruoxue looked her up and down after hearing what the woman said. The woman was about 17 or 18 years old. She had an outstanding appearance, a good temperament, and a tall and sexy body. Her beautiful eyes were tender and shy as she stole glances at Freak, and her tender lips were as alluring as fresh rose petals. In short, this woman had a weak appearance that was enough to make any man feel pity for her. Unfortunately, she had found the wrong people. None of them in this group knew how to love and cherish beauties. Moreover, she was a beauty with ulterior motives. Take pity on you? Who will take pity on us? Old Zhao said disdainfully while rolling his eyes at the woman. Tisich, how dare you show off in front of us with such poor acting skills? You can't even fool me, yet you still want to trick these smart people. Aren't you courting death? The young woman was stunned. Why is it different from what I imagined? I'm just a little girl. There are so many of you. How can you be more pitiful than me? What's wrong with me? I'm actually comparing myself to them in terms of who is more pitiful. We're pitiful because there are too many people. We're so poor that we can't support ourselves, Old Man said and even exaggeratedly wiped his tears. The young woman was speechless. No money? How dare you eat here without money? This is the most expensive restaurant in Windless City. Why don't you take pity on us and help us pay for our meal? Old Zhao added, very rarely not being at odds with Old Man. The corner of the waiter's mouth, who had been pulling the woman, twitched, and he almost fainted. Ooh, could these people really be poor? The dishes he served them were the most expensive in their restaurant. He would be in trouble if they really couldn't pay for the meal. Can you save me if I help you pay for your meal? The woman asked after some thought. Is there a need for poor people like us to save you if you can even afford to pay for such an expensive meal? It's so funny. Ha. Old Zhao laughed out loud without giving her any face. You've finally revealed your true colors. I have other difficulties. Since you're short on money, I'll pay for you and you can help me, okay? The woman's beautiful face was full of anticipation, and her eyes were brimming with affection as she stared at Freak unscrupulously. She originally wanted to pretend to be pitiful and gain sympathy, but not only did these people not have any sympathy, but they were actually poor. Alas. I'll accept it as long as my goal can be achieved. No, why should we help you? We don't know you, Old Zhao refused without hesitation. I'm Zhu Furong, and my father is the city lord of Windless City. The woman introduced herself. Oh, so you're the city lord's daughter. Old Zhao said in realization. Isn't this too much of a coincidence? We encountered one daughter of the city lord the last time we went out, and we actually encountered another one this time. The waiter, who had been pulling the woman, quickly let go of her in fright when he heard that she was the city lord's daughter. His eyes rolled back, his legs gave way, and he fainted. Lung Ruoxue didn't expect the power of a city lord's daughter to be so great that someone fainted from fright. She looked at the fainted waiter and laughed hysterically in her heart. The woman, Zhu Furong, changed from her earlier pitiful appearance and said arrogantly, Yes, you will definitely benefit if you help me. How can ordinary people like us help you when even the daughter of a city lord can't solve it? Old Man said indifferently with his lips curled. You can. Only you can help me, Zhu Furong said with certainty. Oh, tell us about it, Old Man said curiously. It's like this. My father arranged a marriage for me. Zhu Furong looked at Freak and stopped. Oh, congratulations. This is a great happy event. Old Man said sincerely. My father actually wants me to marry an old man in his 80s. What kind of happy event is this? Zhu Furong roared furiously. 80s is very young. Old Man said very fairly. For cultivators, 80 years old was really not very old. I won't marry him. I want to marry whoever I want. Zhu Furong roared, so angry that her beautiful face distorted slightly. You have to listen to your parents and the matchmaker. Old Man advised patiently. I won't marry. If I have to marry, I have to marry someone as young and handsome as him. Zhu Furong pointed at Freak with a face full of joy. So this girl has taken a liking to our little girl's man. This won't do. Old Man muttered in his head. I really don't understand why all the daughters of the city lord's mansion are so lustful. They actually all target Brat Yi. Alas, Brat Yi is really a source of trouble. Get lost. Freak roared without even looking at the so-called city lord's daughter. This damn fly is really annoying. How dare you treat me like this? Do you know who the greatest in Windless City is? Zhu Furong roared back angrily. I don't care who the greatest is. Get lost. Hurry and disappear from in front of me. Otherwise, I can't guarantee that I want hit women, Freak threatened. You will regret it. You will come to beg me sooner or later, Zhu Furong said angrily. Then she turned around and left furiously. Watch them closely, Zhu Furong said to the void after leaving the Jade Bamboo Pavilion. Even though no one answered in the void, there were waves of fluctuations. In the Jade Bamboo Pavilion, Leng Ruoxue and the others finished eating and immediately returned to the inn. After returning to the inn, everyone immediately entered the room and directly entered the bracelet. In the purple bamboo house, Freak said, Schwer, someone is following us. Chapter 334, A Tour of the Prison 4. Yes, they're probably Zhu Furong's people, Leng Ruoxue said understandingly. She didn't take Zhu Furong seriously at all. Schwer, there are bad people who want to hit on me. You have to protect me. Freak took the opportunity to act coquettishly. Okay, don't worry. I will definitely protect you, Leng Ruoxue promised cooperatively. I'm counting on you. Freak said affectionately with a smile on his lips. Master, you can be at ease with a lass like me around. Leng Ruoxue raised Freak's chin gently with her index finger and teased him like a lecher. Lass, I feel so safe with you around. Freak's black eyes began to glow with electricity again. Master, it's getting late. Let's sleep early. Leng Ruoxue said with a light smile after having enough fun. Yes, lass. Your master is a little sleepy. Freak yawned. Lass, master will warm your bed. Freak lay on the purple jade bed, full of seduction. Master, there's no need for warmth here, Leng Ruoxue said helplessly while glancing at Freak. Damn Freak, can you not be so alluring? She shouted in her head. Stop seducing me. Boo. Then you have to let me hug you. Freak stretched out his long arm and directly pulled Leng Ruoxue into his arms, hugging her tightly. Hurry up and sleep. Leng Ruoxue closed her eyes. Schwer, good night. Freak said softly and planted a kiss on Leng Ruoxue's pink lips. Then he closed his eyes and went to sleep. The next morning, Leng Ruoxue and Freak had breakfast after waking up, then left the bracelet to find the waiter. In the hall of the inn, the waiter stood respectfully in front of Leng Ruoxue and Freak. Miss, are you looking for me? Yes, I have something to ask you, Leng Ruoxue said. What is it? I will tell you everything I know, the waiter said straightforwardly. Okay, I want to know Zhu Furong's situation, Leng Ruoxue said directly. She had discussed with her grandfather and the others just now and felt that it was better to know what she was like. So she and Freak came to ask this waiter about her situation early in the morning. Why is Miss asking about her? The waiter asked in puzzlement. We met her when we went out yesterday. She wanted to ask us for help, but we refused, Lung Ruoxue explained simply. It's over. That Zhu Furong is the most vengeful. She won't let you go, the waiter said worriedly. Although the city lord didn't have a son, he had 5 daughters, and these 5 daughters were all bad. Zhu Muden was lecherous and specialized in bullying women and men. Zhu Furong was vengeful. Anyone who offended her would have a miserable end. Zhu Lianrong was vicious and tortured people without even blinking. There were also 2 extremely arrogant and overbearing daughters, even though they were underage. Miss, you should leave this place quickly. The waiter continued after telling Lung Ruoxue about the Zhu family. Why should I leave? Lung Ruoxue wasn't a timid person. Although she would never take the initiative to cause trouble, she would never hide if trouble found her. Arrest them. An extremely arrogant woman's voice sounded in their ears before the waiter could answer. Lung Ruoxue, Freak, and the waiter all looked over at the owner of the voice. Oh no, Zhu Furong unexpectedly came so quickly. The waiter's heart skipped a beat when he saw Zhu Furong bringing people aggressively into their inn. His gaze couldn't help turning to Lung Ruoxue and Freak. These 2 people are dead meat. Plus, Lung Ruoxue and Freak looked at each other with excitement in their eyes. She came quickly. Why are you arresting us? What crime did we commit? Lung Ruoxue widened her innocent beautiful eyes, her beautiful face full of puzzlement. Stealing. I lost a valuable piece of jewelry. Zhu Furong looked very angry. She knew that they were staying in this inn, so she didn't dare to delay for a moment. She hurriedly brought people over, afraid that they would run away. How strange. What does losing your jewelry have to do with us? Lung Ruoxue said lightly. What a lame excuse. I suspect that you stole it because that piece of jewelry disappeared after I left the Jade Bamboo Pavilion yesterday. I've only interacted with you, so you are the most suspicious, Zhu Furong said confidently. Oh, with your logic, can I also suspect you if I lose something? Lung Ruoxue asked calmly. Of course not. I am the noble daughter of the city lord. How could I do such a thing? But you are poor people who can't even pay for a meal, so you must have stolen my jewelry to pay for the meal, Zhu Furong said with certainty. Miss Pig, I really admire you. Your imagination is really too rich. How can you think of such a reason? Lung Ruoxue said with admiration on her face. There's no use flattering me. I won't be lenient with thieves, Zhu Furong said resolutely. Lung Ruoxue was speechless. Why are the comprehension abilities of the Zhu sisters so amazing? I really want to cut open Pig Furong's brain to see if it's full of grass. Miss Pig, are you going to convict us just because of your own imagination? Lung Ruoxue asked curiously. Of course not. I will make you convinced wholeheartedly, Zhu Furong said with incomparable confidence. Zhu Furong turned her head and ordered her subordinates, Zhu Kai, go up and search their room. Yes. A burly young man led a team straight to the 2nd floor upon receiving the order. Chapter 335. A Tour of the Prison 5. The waiter blocked in front of Zhu Kai and the others and said loudly, Second Miss Zhu, you can't just enter our guest's room. Zhu Furong kicked the waiter away and roared, How dare you? We're looking for evidence. Get lost. Miss, the waiter was a little worried. He looked at Lung Ruoxue and Freak, and his heart was burning with anxiety. Oh no, if they go to the 2nd floor, then this lady won't be able to clear her name even if she jumps into the Yellow River. But Lung Ruoxue and Freak were sitting at a table calmly, drinking tea and eating snacks, not at all worried. Not long later, Zhu Kai walked down from the 2nd floor with his people. Miss, I found your jewelry. What else do you have to say now? Zhu Furong said proudly. We have nothing to say. What do you want? Well, do whatever you want, Lung Ruoxue said lightly. She had been bored these past few days anyway. Since this woman wanted to play, she would play with Pig Furong. Come, take these 2 people away. Oh right, take those old men too, Zhu Furong ordered her subordinates. Miss, those old men are not in the room, Zhu Kai replied. Not here? Tell me, where did your accomplices go? Zhu Furong questioned loudly. Those old men also deserve to die. Lung Ruoxue raised her eyebrows slightly and said calmly, I don't know. I'm not familiar with them. We just came together temporarily for convenience sake. They escaped quickly. Take these two away first, Zhu Furong ordered. But she couldn't help admiring her foresight. Fortunately, she was fast enough. Otherwise, wouldn't these two people have escaped too? No need. We can walk by ourselves, Lung Ruoxue said cooperatively. You better behave yourselves and not play any tricks. Zhu Furong warned. Don't worry. We will be good. Lung Ruoxue nodded obediently. After leaving the inn, Lung Ruoxue and Freak were brought to a prison in Windless City by Pig Furong. Wait, you have to lock us up together, Freak said with dissatisfaction when he saw two already prepared prison cells. No, I'm afraid you will run away, so I have to keep you two separate, Zhu Furong said with some jealousy. Damn it. Does he like her that much? If you don't lock us up together, don't expect me to confess. Moreover, I will let everyone know that a daughter of the city lord's mansion is bullying others, Freak threatened. All right, I'll lock you up together then. Zhu Furong compromised. Damn it. If you don't admit to your crime and make everyone know about it, how can I threaten you? Lung Ruoxue and Freak walked on their own into the prison cell happily and swaggeringly. Then they closed the cell door and ignored Pig Furong. Swear, this place is pretty clean. Moreover, we have a single room. It's really not bad. Freak said happily with an enchanting smile on his beautiful face. Yeah, much better than I imagined, Lung Ruoxue said. By the way, Furong, prepare more delicious food for us at noon and at night. There has to be meat. I'm not happy without meat, Freak ordered, basically treating Pig Furong as an attendant. Don't worry. I will definitely satisfy you too, Zhu Furong said resentfully through gritted teeth. Then she turned and left angrily. Swear, the annoying fly is finally gone. We can have some alone time now, Freak said affectionately with a mesmerizing smile on his lips. How can anyone spend quality alone time in a cell? Lung Ruoxue said speechlessly. What other ways do we have? It's not like we don't have the conditions. So what if it's a cell? It's safe. Freak said nonchalantly. He didn't care where he was. As long as he could be with Schwer, it didn't matter even if he went up a mountain of blades or into a sea of flames. That's true. Master, then let me bully you in the cell. Lung Ruoxue raised his enchantingly beautiful chin teasingly. Lass, you have to be gentle, Freak said shyly. He, Schwer, I really love you to death. Don't worry. I'll be gentle. Lung Ruoxue began to stroke Freak. Oh, it feels really good, and his figure is good. It seemed that she was becoming more and more of a pervert. Schwer, is it nice to touch? Freak asked with a face full of smiles, his black eyes full of care. Yes, it feels good, Lung Ruoxue said with satisfaction. Schwer, you've touched me. You have to be responsible for me, Freak said cunningly. Yes, don't worry. I will be responsible for you, Lung Ruoxue said readily while her soft little hand continued stroking Freak. Freak pouted his sexy lips and asked expectantly, Then when are you going to give me a title? Hee, you are a man. Which man wants a title from a woman? Lung Ruoxue deliberately teased him. In fact, she had thought about it long ago, but she just didn't tell him. What's wrong with being a man? I'm in a disadvantaged group. I'm counting on your protection, Freak said pitifully, tears shining in his eyes, looking like he would cry if she didn't agree. Lung Ruoxue sighed and said leisurely, But I'm also very weak now. Who will protect me? Me. I'll protect you. Well, protect each other. Freak immediately declared. Of course I have to protect my woman. Lung Ruoxue snuggled in Freak's arms and said coquettishly, Yes, then you have to protect me. You have to believe me. Only I can protect you in this world, Freak said confidently. Freak, wait here. I'll tell Grandpa and the others so that they won't worry, Lung Ruoxue said after some thought. Don't stay in there for too long. I'll miss you, Freak said softly while looking at Lung Ruoxue with affection in his eyes. Okay. Lung Ruoxue hugged Freak's neck and kissed him lightly on the lips before entering the bracelet. Chapter 336, The Popular Prison, 1. Shuer, why did you run away so quickly? Freak looked at his empty arms and was depressed. In the bracelet. Shuer, what's happening outside? Lung Qingtian immediately asked when he saw his granddaughter enter. It's okay. It's just that Freak and I were locked up in a cell by Pig Farong, Lung Ruoxue said nonchalantly. Oh, Shuer, you have to be careful. Lung Qingtian reminded her. Plus, bring me out to play. Old Zhao said eagerly. He had already guessed that she wouldn't let that Pig Farong go, so he wanted to get involved. In fact, his main goal was to try his new equipment. No, Pig Farong will be suspicious if you go out. Lung Ruoxue rejected old Zhao, who feared that the world wouldn't be in chaos. Lass. Old Zhao cried with a pleading face. No means no. Stay inside obediently. I'll let you out when the time is ripe, Lung Ruoxue coaxed. That's right, old Zhao. Don't add to the trouble. Lin Liang shook his head helplessly. Although there were too many old men, and they were sometimes too noisy, it was also more lively. All right then. But lass, let's make things clear first. If you kill, set fire, or do something bad, don't forget me. Old Zhao reminded her very seriously. I won't forget you, Lung Ruoxue said with a dark face. She couldn't help grumbling in her head. Damn old man, you make me sound like a robber. Am I that violent? I am a law-abiding good citizen. Then I'm relieved. Old Zhao sighed in relief. Little girl, don't forget me if there's something fun. Old man said with dissatisfaction. Don't worry. All of you will have a share, Lung Ruoxue promised. Shuer, you have to be careful outside with Yi Chen. Lung Qingtian reminded her worriedly. Okay, I will. In going out first. Lung Ruoxue said, afraid that Pig Farong would come at any time. Okay, go. Lung Qingtian nodded. Lung Ruoxue turned around, exited the bracelet, and reappeared in the cell. But she appeared in Freak's arms. Shuer, you're so passionate. Freak said happily while hugging the little beauty who took the initiative to deliver herself to him unceremoniously. Yes, of course, Lung Ruoxue said cooperatively. You two are quite loving. At this moment, the voice of Pig Farong sounded from outside the cell. Pig Farong was raging with jealousy, and her eyes were shooting out flames as she glared at Lung Ruoxue and Freak. We're husband and wife. Of course we're loving. Freak smiled smugly. Let's see how much longer you can be smug. Pig Farong said furiously. Don't they say that husband and wife are birds of the same forest that will fly away separately in the face of disaster? I want to see if their relationship is really that firm. There was no man who didn't like power and status, and she could give him all these. But what could that woman give him? Therefore, she was very confident that this man she liked would definitely be defeated by her sugar-coated bullets in the end and turn to her embrace. Then wait patiently, Lung Ruoxue said lightly. She didn't take the provocation of Pig Farong seriously at all. But it seemed that Pig Farong was more scheming than her elder sister. I'll wait, Zhu Farong said angrily. Then she turned and left. Shuer, the fly left again, Freak said happily. Yes, but it's pretty boring when she's gone, Lung Ruoxue said boredly. Shuer, she will come again, Freak said. That woman hadn't achieved her goal yet, so how could she give up? Freak, what do you think we should do? Lung Ruoxue was a little bored. Bad things could only be done late at night, but it was broad daylight now. Should we just stay in the cell like this? There are many things we can do. For example, kissing, touching, flirting, there are so many, Freak said with yearning. We're in a prison cell, so I don't want to. Why don't we sleep for a while? Lung Ruoxue suggested. By having enough sleep during the day, they would have the energy to do bad things at night. Okay. Freak knew Lung Ruoxue's thoughts and nodded in agreement. Then he took out a recliner from his ring and lay down on it with Shuer in his arms. At noon, Zhu Furong came to deliver food and saw Lung Ruoxue and Freak hugging each other while sleeping on the recliner. She was so jealous that her lungs were about to explode. Damn it. This is a cell. What are you doing? Zhu Furong roared, so angry that her beautiful face twisted in anger. Can't you see that we're sleeping? Be quiet. You're so noisy, Freak said with narrowed eyes, very displeased. Damn it. This isn't a place for you to sleep. Zhu Furong roared angrily. You're wrong. We've both slept outdoors before, let alone here. But this place is slightly better than the wilderness. At least there won't be bandits or anything. Moreover, it will save us the money of staying at inns, Freak said with seeming satisfaction. In that case, sleep well. I don't think you need to eat lunch anymore. Zhu Furong was so angry that she threw the meal box in her hand to the ground and left furiously. Who wants your food? I am afraid you would drug me. Freak said in a voice loud enough for Pig Furong to hear. Then a loud plop sounded. It turned out that Zhu Furong was so angry that she fell to the ground. But she quickly got up and hurriedly fled from the cell with an extremely disheveled appearance. Ha, ha. Freak's happy laughter sounded from the cell. Lung Ruoxue opened her beautiful eyes and said with satisfaction, You're too evil. Shuer, are you hungry? Let's go eat? Freak sought Lung Ruoxue's opinion. Chapter 337, The Popular Prison, 2. Yes, I'm a little hungry. I wonder what delicious food Grandpa and the others have made? Lung Ruoxue asked curiously. Then she sent her divine sense into the bracelet and took out a few dishes. Freak, eat quickly. They're all your favorite, Lung Ruoxue urged. Shuer, feed me, okay? Freak requested while blinking his black and shiny eyes. Okay. Lung Ruoxue picked up a piece of fresh fish meat with her chopsticks and sent it into Freak's waiting mouth. So fragrant, Freak said with satisfaction. The fish in space tasted really good. The fish melted in his mouth, fragrant and delicious. Moreover, Shuer was the one feeding him. So blissful. Shuer, I'll feed you too, Freak said. Just like this, the two of them took turns feeding each other one bite after another. The warm and sweet atmosphere lingered in the prison that didn't quite match it. After lunch, the two of them lay on the recliner in each other's arms and chatted. When they were sleepy, they fell asleep, and the afternoon quickly passed. At night, seems like you guys are pretty relaxed. The discordant voice sounded in the cell again. It's okay, but Miss Pig seems more relaxed. You're running to the prison countless times in a day, Lung Ruoxue said lazily without even looking up. I'm not here for you. Zhu Furong suppressed her anger. Not me? Lung Ruoxue pretended to be confused. I'm here to find him. I have something to tell him. Zhu Furong pointed at Freak. Damn it. I still don't know this man's name. I'm sorry, Miss Pig. I'm not familiar with you. There's nothing to talk to you about, Freak refused without giving her face. Did you forbid him from paying attention to me? Zhu Furong roared at Lung Ruoxue furiously, her heart almost on fire from jealousy. Miss Pig, who do you think you are? Does ignoring you make a difference to us? Lung Ruoxue looked at Pig Furong mockingly as if she was looking at an idiot. Just you wait. I will make you regret it, Zhu Furong said fiercely and then left angrily. Freak, do you think Pig Furong came to the cell just to let us make her angry? Lung Ruoxue really couldn't understand. Every time Pig Furong came to the prison, she would be driven away by anger. But she would actually come again not long later. What did she want? If she wanted to threaten Freak, then hurry up. She was getting a little impatient from waiting. Probably. Those city lord daughters and the like have many eccentricities. Freak said nonchalantly. Maybe Pig Furong just wants to see you. Lung Ruoxue said with a light smile. Hee, it's possible. I don't want to see her. She's so disgusting. Freak said disdainfully. Alas. How sad would Pig Furong be if she heard the person she likes say that? Lung Ruoxue teased. Shuer, don't mention that disgusting woman. When should we take action? Freak asked curiously. Of course we have to wait for them to fall asleep. When doing bad things, the moon must be up and it must be dark. Lung Ruoxue said with a cunning smile. Hee, I will definitely give the city lord's mansion an unforgettable night. Yes, that makes sense. Let's sleep for a while first. After we wake up, we'll find trouble with them, Freak suggested. Okay. Lung Ruoxue nodded, continued to nest in Freak's arms, and closed her eyes. Late at night, a masked man in black sneaked into the prison. How can you still sleep at a time like this? The man in black roared angrily as he looked at the two people sleeping in each other's arms on the recliner. Lung Ruoxue and Freak slowly opened their eyes, looked at each other, and then said at the same time, "What should we do then?" "Of course you have to think of a way to escape," the man in black said matter-of-factly. "Escape? We're just a disadvantaged group. We can't afford to offend big shots," Lung Ruoxue said pitifully with a long face. "Didn't I come here to save you? Come with me quickly." The man in black slashed open the cell door. "Who are you? Do we know you?" Lung Ruoxue asked in confusion. "Of course we don't know each other. I just can't stand how the people from the city lord's mansion do whatever they want. This is why I came to save you," the man in black said anxiously. "Oh, since we don't know each other, we can't implicate you, so we can't leave this place," Lung Ruoxue said very seriously. "It's okay. It's everyone's duty to help if they see injustice on the road, so you don't have to be polite with me. Come with me quickly," the man in black advised earnestly, his throat almost dry from persuading. "Is that so? Then let us consider it," Lung Ruoxue said perfunctorily, but she was sneering in her heart. "Want us to escape from prison? We refuse to run. I want to see what other tricks that Pig Farong can think of. Stop thinking about it. Come with me quickly. Otherwise, if we're discovered later, none of us will be able to leave," the man in black urged. He looked at Lung Ruoxue and Freak's calm and composed appearance, and his heart was burning with anxiety as he cursed in his head. Why are these two so difficult to deal with? Are they normal people? Normal people would leave without even thinking if they saw someone coming to save them. But these two people? It's okay. We're detained here anyway. Please go ahead if you have something urgent. Lung Ruoxue said understandingly. "Yes, that's right. We don't dare to delay your business," Freak echoed. But he was laughing on the inside. "I came specially to save you. Are you willing to let me make a wasted trip?" The man in black said without giving up. He couldn't return without any achievements. Otherwise, he would have no way of explaining when he returned. Mr. Hero, we didn't seem to have said anything about wanting you to save us." "You can't push the blame onto us," Lung Ruoxue said aggrievedly with tears in her beautiful eyes. Chapter 338, The Popular Prison, 3. Schwer, don't cry. Look at what you've done. You scared my woman to tears. Freak coaxed Lung Ruoxue gently and then roared fiercely at the man in black. His face changed so quickly that it was dizzying. The man in black was speechless and cursed in his head. "Fuck, how can you treat your savior like this? Dear, I'm so scared. This uncle is too fierce." Lung Ruoxue appeared so scared that she kept burrowing into Freak's arms, her face full of fear. "Don't be afraid. I will protect you." Freak hugged Lung Ruoxue tightly and comforted her. "I'm not an uncle." The man in black couldn't take it anymore. "Damn it, what kind of gaze is that? Am I that old? Then you are an old man?" Lung Ruoxue probed cautiously. "I'm not an old man either," the man in black roared furiously. He was so angry that he had long forgotten that he was masked. "Oh, so he's an oid fart who won't die," Lung Ruoxue said in realization. The man in black felt that he would definitely vomit blood from anger by these two if he stayed in the prison any longer. "Come with me quickly," the man in black ordered angrily. Lung Ruoxue and Freak looked at each other and said in unison, "No." "Are you really not willing to leave with me?" The man in black lost his patience. He really couldn't deal with these two people. "Yes, we won't leave. Wasn't this place good? Someone would occasionally come to disturb them and let them play around. Don't regret it," the man in black roared angrily. He was about to turn and leave when Lung Ruoxue stopped him. "Old fart, wait." Lung Ruoxue smiled and stopped the man in black who was about to leave. The man in black turned around and said with slight surprise, "What? Have you changed your mind?" "No, old fart. You have to fix this cell door before you leave. Otherwise, we will be misunderstood as wanting to escape, Lung Ruoxue said very seriously. Well done, the man in black said after thinking for a long time. You can only leave after the door is repaired. Lung Ruoxue reminded the angry man in black again. Okay, wait. The man in black held back his anger, took out tools from his ring, and resigned himself to fixing the prison door. Boo! Why is my life so tough? These two people aren't normal at all. Old fart, you have a lot of tools, and your technique for repairing the door is very professional. Do you specialize in this field? Lung Ruoxue praised while lying on the recliner with Freak, her head on her arm, her beautiful eyes staring at the man in black repairing the door. I'm not in this line of work. The man in black gritted his teeth and wanted to cry but had no tears. Boo! I'm so unlucky. If not for misorders, I really want to kill these two people. But your technique is too professional. I think you will have a better future in this line of work, Lung Ruoxue suggested. The words "I'm doing this for your own good" were written all over her beautiful face. Thank you for your reminder. I'll consider it. The man in black wiped the cold sweat off his head. Boo! I really want to kill someone to vent my anger now. Schwer, you're wrong. I think he's quite suitable to watch the prison, Freak concluded after watching for a long time. Dear, this doesn't conflict. Isn't it complementary to watch the prison and repair the cell doors at the same time? It saves me from being bored, Lung Ruoxue suggested. Hee, my Schwerer is still smart and thoughtful. I think he's good at fixing locks. He can also help others fix locks and add a key or something along the way. Freak and Lung Ruoxue spoke as if no one was around. Soon, they helped the man in black decide his future career. Both of you shut up. Don't affect my work, the man in black roared angrily. He didn't realize that he had already been led into a trap by Lung Ruoxue and Freak. I knew it. The old fart will definitely like this job. Lung Ruoxue smiled happily. Of course, this is collective wisdom. Freak said cooperatively. In fact, he had been laughing in his head. Playing dumb and infuriating others to death feels really good. However, this man in black seemed to have strong mental fortitude. They had said so much for so long, but they still couldn't make this man in black vomit blood. Alas, there was really no sense of accomplishment. It seemed like they still needed to enhance their ability to anger others. The door and lock are fixed. I'm leaving. Then the man in black hurriedly ran away, as if he was afraid that the tiger behind would catch up if he ran too slowly. Don't you know how to lock the door? You're so irresponsible, Lung Ruoxue complained very unhappily as she looked at the open cell door. Schwer, give him another chance. Let's not stoop to his level, Freak comforted. Okay, I'll listen to you, Lung Ruoxue answered obediently. Then she leaned into Freak's arms. Seems like I was worried for nothing. You guys are quite carefree. A slightly teasing voice sounded in their ears. Lung Ruoxue looked up and saw the incomparably handsome Lan Ming in a white robe standing outside the cell, looking at the two of them with a smile. What are you doing here? Lung Ruoxue asked in puzzlement. Would you believe me if I said I'm here to save you? Lan Ming asked with a smile. No, Lung Ruoxue said honestly. Why? Lan Ming asked curiously. Because you are too unprofessional. You are dressed in white. Do you want to save people or harm people? Lung Ruoxue said very directly. I like being different. I am me. Why should I be like others? Everyone wears black, but I insist on wearing white. Lan Ming said willfully. Goodbye, I won't see you out. Lung Ruoxue nodded indifferently. Chapter 339. The Popular Prison 4. Lan Ming was stunned. Did he hear it wrong? What he heard was, Goodbye, I won't see you out. Why was his treatment worse than that of the man in black just now? They actually started chasing him away so quickly. Boo-hoo, he was depressed. Hey, why aren't you leaving yet? Freak urged Lan Ming when he saw him standing there motionlessly like a fool. Alas! Lan Ming, who was wallowing in self-pity, sighed after coming back to his senses. No wonder that man in black almost vomited blood from anger. These two fellows indeed had the capital to anger someone to death. In fact, he was only one step slower than the man in black just now. Therefore, he had hidden in the dark. When he saw the man in black almost vomiting blood from anger, he laughed in his heart. But now that it was his turn to be despised, he couldn't laugh anymore. "I really came to save you," Lan Ming said helplessly. Alas, he could only accept it when he encountered these two troublesome people. "Why?" Lung Ruoxue asked in puzzlement. "Because you're from my mystic association. Is there a need to ask?" Lan Ming was depressed. These two people's thoughts were really, "So what? We didn't say we wanted you to save us," Lung Ruoxue said ungratefully. "I haven't had enough fun yet. How could I be saved? Then what was the point of playing? In being nosy, all right? Little ancestor." Lan Ming was speechless. He came to save them, but he was actually wrong. Boo-hoo, what was this? These two fellows were really difficult to deal with. Zhu Furong, who dared to provoke them, must have accumulated the bad luck of 8 lifetimes. "It's good that you know." Lung Ruoxue nodded. "How long do you intend to stay in the prison?" Lan Ming asked curiously after understanding. "I don't know. There's food and water here, and it saves money. It's much better than staying at an inn," Lung Ruoxue said honestly. "Are you that poor?" Lan Ming rolled his eyes in disdain. "Yes, we have to think of a way to earn money." Lung Ruoxue pretended to be pitiful. "Have you thought of a way yet?" Lan Ming asked curiously. "Yes, I'll wait for the compensation from the city lord's mansion. I'll stay here and won't leave if I don't receive compensation," Lung Ruoxue said very seriously. As the saying went, it was easy to invite a god but difficult to send one away. "Okay, I support you," Lan Ming said very cooperatively as a few drops of cold sweat dripped down his forehead. He finally knew that he could provoke gods and ghosts but never these two fellows because they would definitely let the people who provoked them suffer a loss. "Thank you, President," Lung Ruoxue said with a smile. You're welcome. Just let me know if you need anything. After all, you are mystics from my association," Lan Ming said in a very friendly tone. Lung Ruoxue became paranoid after hearing Lan Ming's words and asked bluntly, "One who is unaccountably solicitous is hiding evil intentions. President Lan, why are you being so good to us? What goal can I have? You're registered in my association, so it's only right that I protect you." Lan Ming said matter-of-factly. "President Lan, don't bother lying in front of us. We aren't 3-year-old children. Just say it directly. If it's not too difficult, we can consider it. But your remuneration has to satisfy me," Lung Ruoxue said bluntly. Since you've mentioned it, I really have something. However, this has nothing to do with coming to save you." Lan Ming explained. He didn't want them to misunderstand that he wanted to save them to use them. "It doesn't matter if it's related. As long as your remuneration satisfies me, and it's within my capabilities, doing it won't be a loss." Lung Ruoxue said nonchalantly. After her brother and the others came out of seclusion, they would have to spend a lot more money, so she had to think of a way to earn more money. You don't have to worry about the remuneration. The last thing our mystic association needs is money," Lan Ming said. Alas, this was the first time he had seen a mystic like Lung Ruoxue who lacked money. "That's good. President Lan, what do you want us to do?" Lung Ruoxue asked curiously. "There will be a competition between mystics in a month. I hope you can participate on behalf of the Windless City's Mystic Association," Lan Ming explained. "The rewards for the competition are very generous," he added. "Oh, what are the rewards?" Lung Ruoxue asked with interest. If the rewards were good, she would definitely participate. If not, then the remuneration would have to be generous. Otherwise, she wouldn't help. First place will receive a reward of 100 million purple coins and a physical reward. It will definitely satisfy you. Lan Ming knew what this little woman wanted, so he didn't beat around the bush. 100 million? The Mystic Association is indeed very rich. Lung Ruoxue praised. "Well, I have to participate in this competition, but I'm only at the mystic level. What are my chances of winning if I participate in the competition?" Lung Ruoxue continued asking. Don't worry. This competition only allows elementary mystics and below to participate. This is a competition to select talents for the Mystic Association, so the level of the mystics participating won't be too high. With your strength, it won't be a problem for you to be in the top 3, Lan Ming said confidently. President Lan, we are only mystics, but there are elementary mystics in the competition. So I'm really curious where your confidence comes from? Lung Ruoxue couldn't help asking. I've seen many mystics, but this is the first time I've seen someone as abnormal as you, Lan Ming said honestly. He had been thinking about this issue for the past few days, but he couldn't understand how someone with such abnormal talent could exist in the world. Thank you for the compliment. In fact, we're pretty average, Lung Ruoxue said very modestly. Lan Ming was speechless again. If you're ordinary, then what are others? Should they just die? Lan Ming calmed down and continued, by the way, what about your grandfather? You'll need at least 5 people to participate in the competition, so they need to participate too. Chapter 340. The Popular Prison, 5. I hid them in a safe place, Lung Ruoxue said mysteriously. That's good. Lan Ming was relieved. President Lan, let's talk about our remuneration now. Lung Ruoxue suggested. I won't treat you badly. Why are you in such a hurry? Lan Ming said with a face full of black lines. Alas. You're a full man who doesn't know the hunger of a hungry man. How can a rich person like you understand the pain of us poor people? Lung Ruoxue sighed with emotion from being poor. Isn't that too exaggerated? Lan Ming really didn't know what to say. I'm not exaggerating. We're really running out of money, Lung Ruoxue said seriously. You can calculate it yourself. We spent 500 purple coins on spiritual power conversion in your association. We've spent almost 2,000 purple coins from lodging, meals, and the city entrance fees over the past few days. That's 2,000 purple coins. It should be enough for ordinary people to live for several years, right? Lung Ruoxue said while counting seriously with her fingers. They had only been on the boundless heaven continent for a week, but Lung Ruoxue could feel the pinch from the expensive cost of living here. When she was on the Ling Feng continent, she had never been short of money. But after she arrived here, she found that the amethyst coins she brought from the Ling Feng continent were flowing like water, and there were so few of them now. Alas, money. She needed to earn money. Alright, forget it. 10 million purple coins per person. That should be enough, right? Lan Ming interrupted Lung Ruoxue. No, Lung Ruoxue refused directly. My little ancestor, 10 million isn't a small sum. What else do you want? Lan Ming said weakly. Why is this girl so difficult to deal with? In the future, you are not allowed to charge my people for going to your guild to convert spiritual power. Moreover, you have to cover food and lodging from now until the competition ends. Lung Ruoxue raised her conditions. That's not a problem. But you still have other people? Lan Ming couldn't help asking. Yes, but they can't convert their spiritual power yet, so don't have any ideas about them, Lung Ruoxue said understandingly. Oh, I'll arrange a place for you to stay after you leave the prison, Lan Ming said with some disappointment. Then it's settled. President Lan, you can go back now. Lung Ruoxue began to chase him away after the discussion was over. You're so pragmatic. Then I'm leaving. Be careful. The Zhu family can do anything, Lan Ming reminded before leaving. Okay, got it. Lung Ruoxue nodded. Shuer, what should we do now? Freak asked curiously after Lan Ming left. Wait and see. I wonder if anyone else will come? Lung Ruoxue guessed. Probably not. We don't know many people here, Freak said with certainty. In that case, let's go to the city lord's mansion for a night tour. Lung Ruoxue suggested, her eyes shining with a mischievous light. Okay, let's go now. Freak said impatiently. Hee, causing trouble is the most enjoyable thing. Let's go. Lung Ruoxue nodded. They left the cell quietly under the cover of night. Freak, I just remembered something, Lung Ruoxue suddenly said on the street after leaving the prison. What's the matter? Freak asked in puzzlement. We don't know the location of the city lord's mansion. Lung Ruoxue said gloomily. Pig Furong didn't imprison them in the city lord's mansion but locked them in a prison in Windless City because she was afraid of being blamed by her father. Did you forget that we have a map? Freak reminded. Oh, I forgot about the map. Thanks to Freak's reminder, Lung Ruoxue remembered the map and took it out of the bracelet. Shue, this is the city lord's mansion, right? Freak pointed at a very conspicuous red dot on the map. Yes, it doesn't seem too far away. Freak, let's go. Lung Ruoxue said. Okay. The two of them followed the directions on the map and quickly found the city lord's mansion. There were 2 guards guarding the front door of the city lord's mansion, so they turned to the back door. The back door was very small, and only one person could pass at a time. Moreover, not only was the back door not guarded, but it wasn't even locked, showing how arrogant this city lord was. Schwer, this city lord's mansion is quite luxurious. It's not inferior to an imperial palace. Freak sighed while standing outside the tall courtyard walls of the city lord's mansion. Yes, and this is only the city lord's mansion of a small city. Freak, looks like this city lord is very rich. Lung Ruoxue's beautiful eyes glittered with interest. Schwer, we will be the rich ones if we rob him, Freak said evilly. Yes, that's what I was thinking too. The city lord's mansion of such a small city is actually living in such luxury. I really don't know how much of the people's hard-earned money he has embezzled. Freak, let's rob the rich to help the poor today. Lung Ruoxue said righteously. Of course, the poor referred to them. Yes, we must rob the rich to support the poor, that is us. Freak nodded heavily in agreement. Freak, let's go in. Lung Ruoxue said. Okay, Freak answered, and they sneaked into the city lord's mansion through the back door. After entering the city lord's mansion, Lung Ruoxue found a hidden and uninhabited corner and moved her grandfather and the others, who were already waiting impatiently, out of the bracelet. Her cute beasts also came out together. Of course, her beasts were all transformed. Otherwise, the city lord's mansion likely wouldn't be able to hold them. Fengzhan, Charm, you have to take these beasts with you and be careful. Lung Ruoxue reminded. Although there were not many powerful experts in the city lord's mansion, it was still better to be careful. Chapter 341, The Popular Prison 6. Master, don't worry. Well, be careful, Fengzhan promised. Grandpa, you have to be careful too, Lung Ruoxue said. Okay, let's split up. Lung Qingtian nodded. Okay, let's go. As soon as Lung Ruoxue finished speaking, thousands of beasts scattered and ran in all directions. And Lung Qingtian and the others disappeared into thin air. Schwer, where are we going? Freak asked after Lung Qingtian and the others as well as the beasts left. Of course, to rob first, Lung Ruoxue said matter-of-factly. She deliberately left Quill and Rise behind to help them rob. Hee, robbing is good. I like it. Freak smiled evilly and happily. Okay, Quill, go find where the good things are hidden in the city lord's mansion, Lung Ruoxue ordered. Yes, master. Quill flew away after Rise cast an invisibility spell on him. He flew back a moment later. Master, I found it, Quill said excitedly. Hee, there were indeed many treasures in the city lord's mansion. Quill, bring us there, Lung Ruoxue ordered. Master, come with me. Rise then cast an invisibility spell on Lung Ruoxue and Freak. After that, the two of them walked toward the treasury together. After arriving at the treasury, Lung Ruoxue and Freak naturally robbed it unceremoniously. Then Lung Ruoxue made a little mischief and left the words, "The great sage, heaven's equal, was here," before the two of them swaggered out of the treasury. After exiting the treasury, Lung Ruoxue let Ball out. Ball, look for treasures. Lung Ruoxue ordered. Okay, big sister. Ball closed his big eyes and sensed for a while before opening them again. Big sister, I feel something good in the northwest direction. Ball reported his findings to Lung Ruoxue. Northwest? I wonder where it is? Freak, let's go take a look. Lung Ruoxue said. Let's go. Freak pulled Lung Ruoxue, and the two walked toward the northwest. Master, I knocked out another guard. Rise, who had been having a good time along the way, said happily while wagging his little tail. Amazing! Lung Ruoxue caressed Rise's head and praised him. Alas! It seemed like my beasts are all bored to death. After receiving Lung Ruoxue's praise, Rise worked even harder and knocked out anyone he saw. Big sister, this is the place. Ball pointed at a courtyard not far from them. Freak, this should be the courtyard of a certain young lady of the Zhu family. Let's go in and take a look. Lung Ruoxue suggested. The environment here was quiet, and the courtyard was planted full of fresh flowers. It was definitely the residence of a certain young lady of the Zhu family. Okay, I hope it's not Zhu Furong's courtyard, Freak said with some disgust. Ha! It's better if it's hers. I'm just about to look for her. Lung Ruoxue said with a light smile. Their other purpose for coming tonight was for Pig Furong. After the 2 humans and 3 beasts entered the courtyard, Ball flew directly toward the flower bed. After a while, he flew back, and his little paws were holding a small red flower. Big sister, this is for you. Ball handed the flower in his paw to Lung Ruoxue and then lay on her shoulder obediently. Lung Ruoxue looked at the palm-sized red flower in her hand. This flower was an abnormally bright red that resembled fire. Moreover, the fragrance was very strong. But she didn't recognize this flower. Lung Ruoxue sent the unknown flower into the bracelet and handed it to Qingju. Freak, let's go take a look over there. Lung Ruoxue pointed at the room in the courtyard. Okay. Freak nodded, and the 2 humans and 3 beasts headed straight for the room. Before approaching the room, they heard strange sounds coming from inside. The 2 of them pressed their ears against the window. Other than some strange sounds, there were also voices coming from inside. Lung Ruoxue and Freak pricked up their ears curiously to listen. In the room, a young man and woman were making love, doing the most primitive kind of exercise. During the break, a beautiful girl looked at the naked man beside her and asked, Prosperity, did you just tell me that second sister likes a man? Yes, second miss took a liking to a man and locked him in a cell. But that man has a wife and doesn't like second miss at all. Tonight, second miss even ordered her subordinates to go to the cell. She originally wanted to plot for the 2 of them to escape from the prison, but who knew that the 2 of them actually refused to follow me? The young man said gloomily and then rolled over to press the girl under him again. Prosperity, look at how anxious you are. Let me rest for a while, the girl said with some dissatisfaction. Third miss, I missed you so much, the young man said aggrievedly. Prosperity, answer my question honestly first. The girl pouted coquettishly. Yes, please ask, Third Mississippi. I will tell you everything I know, the man named Prosperity promised. Prosperity, do you think that man will agree to second sister? Zhu Lianrong asked worriedly. Probably not, Prosperity said uncertainty. In fact, he knew very well that the man didn't care about the second miss at all. That's good. Zhu Lianrong was relieved after hearing what Prosperity said. There was nothing she could do. If her second sister married in advance, her father would definitely marry her to that old man, so she had to ruin her second sister's plan. Third miss, why don't you want second miss to get married? If second miss marries someone, wouldn't there be no one who can snatch President Lon from you? Prosperity asked in puzzlement. It was not a secret in Windless City that the 3 Zhu sisters liked President Lon of the Mystic Association. Second sister isn't my match, but if she marries someone, father will have to marry me to that old man from the Sun family, so of course I have to stop second sister from marrying. Prosperity, you have to help me. Zhu Lianrong wheedled. Prosperity was her second sister's trusted aide, but she had seduced him, which was why she knew her second sister's affairs like the back of her hand. Chapter 342, The Unlucky City Lord's Mansion, 1. Third miss, don't worry. I will definitely help you. Prosperity immediately forgot about his master when he saw the beauty acting coquettishly. Prosperity, I know you're the best, Zhu Lianrong said happily. At the same time, she was very pleased with her honey trap. Third miss, I'm willing to go through hell and high water for you, so you have to reward me well. Prosperity said with a perverted look and then began attacking the city walls again. Outside the room, the pig sisters are quite friendly. Lung Ruoxue sighed as she looked at the full moon hanging in the sky. Yes. Freak nodded in agreement. Swear, let's leave this place. Freak continued. He didn't want to stay here anymore. The sounds coming from the room were really too unpleasant. Okay, let's go check out somewhere else, Lung Ruoxue said with a light smile. But just as she finished speaking, she heard a sharp scream in the distance. There's a snake. Then there was a loud sound. Lung Ruoxue and Freak exchanged glances. Did someone discover Confound? Lung Ruoxue guessed. Discover? I think he's deliberately scaring people, Freak said in realization. Schwer's beasts were very well behaved in front of her, but in fact each one was more scheming than the other, and they had many ways to prank people. It doesn't matter. We're here to cause trouble anyway, Lung Ruoxue said nonchalantly with 2 drops of cold sweat on her forehead. Schwer, let's go somewhere else. Freak said. Okay, let's find Pig Furong's residence. Hee, we have to let her know that her sister is scheming against her. Lung Ruoxue said with a naughty smile. She already decided to sow discord until the end. Moreover, she had given Pig Lianrong a small gift before leaving. Schwer, you're so cute. Freak suddenly hugged Lung Ruoxue affectionately and kissed her fiercely. I'm doing this for their own good. Sisters have to love and protect each other. Lung Ruoxue said without any shame. Yes, sisters shouldn't become enemies, Freak agreed. The 2 of them left Pig Lianrong's residence and searched each courtyard. Schwer, this courtyard is the last one, Freak reminded. Okay, let's go in and take a look. Lung Ruoxue said. They had already checked several courtyards, but none of them was the residence of Pig Furong. After Lung Ruoxue and Freak entered the courtyard, they went directly to the outside of the room, leaned against the window, and listened to the movements inside. That man seems to be the steward of the city lord's mansion. Lung Ruoxue heard a familiar voice coming from the room. Steward? The steward of the city lord's mansion lives in a good place, Freak said mockingly. This was obviously the residence of a woman. Moreover, according to his guess, the person staying here was not one of the daughters of the city lord's mansion but the city lord's concubine, and she was probably very favored. The woman inside seems to be the city lord's concubine, Lung Ruoxue said after listening to the conversation inside. It seems like everyone in the city lord's mansion is unwilling to be left out. The steward climbed into the city lord's favored concubine's bed while one of the city lord's daughters is seducing her elder sister's guard. Oh, what a mess. Freak smiled with contempt. He'll leave some gifts for them too. Lung Ruoxue said evilly and sent a trace of her green mystic power through the door crack. Hee, the city lord will definitely be very grateful to us when he sees this scene tomorrow, Freak said excitedly. Of course. He was made a cuckold for so long. Then Lung Ruoxue and Freak left. Schwer, let's go find Grandpa and the others. Freak suggested, wondering how Schwer's grandfather and the others were doing. Okay. Lung Ruoxue nodded. Then the 2 humans and 3 beasts went to look for Lung Qingtian and the others. After searching for a while, they finally found Lung Qingtian, Old Man, and the others in the courtyard of the main house. Grandpa, what are you doing? Lung Ruoxue called out softly after entering the courtyard of the main house. When she saw her grandfather and the others squatting on the ground, she wondered what they were doing. Schwer, it's you. We're thinking about something. Lung Qingtian said. Thinking about something here? Cold sweat dripped down Lung Ruoxue's forehead. Grandpa and the others are too good at finding places. Yes. I heard something just now, so I'm thinking about it, Lung Qingtian said awkwardly. What did you hear? Lung Ruoxue asked curiously. Her grandfather and the others looked serious. Was it related to them? Lass, do you know the relationship between the city lord's mansion and the Sun family? Old Zao asked. Yes, why? The relationship between the city lord's mansion and the Sun family didn't seem to be a secret. Just now, we heard the city lord say to find some young and beautiful women to give to the Sun family, and Pig Farong recommended you to her father, old Zhao explained. Oh, and then? Lung Ruoxue asked calmly. Then the city lord said he would visit you in the prison tomorrow. If you pass, Pig Farong won't have to marry, old Zhao said. Oh, then we'll wait for him in the cell tomorrow, Lung Ruoxue said calmly. Little girl, why aren't you worried at all? I suspect that someone from the Sun family is practicing evil techniques. Why else would they need so many young and beautiful women? Old man said worriedly. What's the use of worrying? The Sun family is one of the 3 great families and not something we can deal with now, Lung Ruoxue said calmly. Want to give me away? Dream on. How can I be manipulated so easily? For those who have designs on me, it's best to be prepared to pay the price. Shuer, let's leave Windless City while we still can. Lung Qingtian was very worried that his granddaughter would be hurt. They were indeed too weak now. Grandpa, we can run for a while, but can we run forever? There is a pig city lord in Windless City, and other cities might also have such a city lord. Therefore, running won't solve the problem, and that's also a sign of weakness. We can only work hard to become strong so that we won't be controlled by others, Lung Ruoxue analyzed calmly. They were new and unfamiliar with everything, and they themselves were the only people they could rely on and trust. Chapter 343, The Unlucky City Lord's Mansion, 2. Ruoxue makes sense, Lin Liang agreed. Grandpa, President Lon will arrange a place for us to stay after we settle the matter with the pig family. At that time, we will all enter seclusion. Cultivating in the space for a month, coupled with the accelerated time, will be equivalent to several years. Perhaps we can break through, Lung Ruoxue suggested. Okay, well listen to Shuer, Lung Qingtian agreed. In fact, they were mainly following Shuer's opinions now. Grandpa, did you obtain anything? Lung Ruoxue asked curiously after settling the worries of Lung Qingtian and the others. Lass, I've collected a lot of artificing materials. Old Zhao said proudly. TCH, would you be able to take advantage if the pig family didn't have a pig that knew how to artifice? Old man said with contempt. I don't care who the original owner of those materials is. They're mine once I find them, old Zhao said domineeringly. Stop arguing. By the way, do any of you know where Pig Farong lives? Lung Ruoxue asked helplessly. Yes. Lass, come with me, old Zhao said excitedly, eager to go. Lung Ruoxue and Freak soon arrived at Pig Farong's residence under the lead of old Zhao and the others. After reaching Zhu Furong's residence, Lung Ruoxue quietly sneaked into her room, knocked her out, and stored her in a pet ring. Shuer, what do you want to do with her? Freak asked curiously. You'll know then, hee. Lung Ruoxue smiled evilly, her face full of mystery. Grandpa, let's go. Lung Ruoxue said to Lung Qingtian and the others waiting in the courtyard after exiting the room. Then she summoned her beasts back. After all the beasts arrived, Lung Ruoxue sent them back into the bracelet and left the city lord's mansion with Freak. Shuer, where are we going? Freak asked after leaving the city lord's mansion. This wasn't the way back to the cell. To the city gates. There are the most people there, Lung Ruoxue said matter-of-factly. Oh. When they arrived at the city gates, Lung Ruoxue summoned Quill. Freak, turn around. Don't look, Lung Ruoxue said domineeringly. Yes, my wife. Freak turned around obediently. Hee, I can guess what Shuer wants to do with my eyes closed. Lung Ruoxue took out a rope made of beast tendons, tied Pig Farong into a dumpling, and handed her to Quill. Quill, hang this thing at the city gates, Lung Ruoxue ordered. Yes, master. Quill was a little disgusted. He grabbed one end of the rope with his claws, flew into the air, and found a good spot to hang Pig Farong. At this moment, the guards guarding the city gates didn't expect one of the city lord's daughters to be hanging above their heads, naked. After doing all this, Lung Ruoxue and Freak returned to the cell openly. Freak, take this appearance-changing pill. Lung Ruoxue took out 2 appearance-changing pills and gave one to Freak as soon as they entered the cell. She took one herself. Alas, she didn't want her grandfather to worry. Okay, Schwer, let's sleep for a while. There will be a good show tomorrow. Freak said after taking the pill. Then let's sleep for a while. Well, wait for the city lord to visit tomorrow, Lung Ruoxue said with a light smile. Yes, how dare he have designs on my woman? He's dead meat, Freak said hatefully. Then he lay on the recliner with Lung Ruoxue in his arms. The next morning, Schwer, why are you beating me up? Freak covered his face with tears in his eyes, aggrieved. You're Freak? Lung Ruoxue was embarrassed. She opened her eyes and saw a fat stranger hugging her, so she punched him without thinking. When she woke up, she really forgot that Freak ate an appearance-changing pill last night because the appearance-changing pill had yet to show its effects when they went to sleep yesterday. Moreover, this appearance-changing pill was newly concocted by her, and she had added many new medicinal herbs in it, so she wasn't sure what the appearance-changing pill would turn Freak into. To be honest, she wasn't very certain of its effects either. But the appearance-changing pill actually turned Freak into an ugly fatty, which was unexpected. Schwer, you can't even recognize me anymore. Boo. I'm so sad. Freak said sadly, his tears threatening to fall. I didn't do it on purpose. You've really changed too much. Lung Ruoxue said embarrassedly. How could she expect that a mere appearance-changing pill could change the appearance and figure of Freak? Boo. Schwer, no matter how ugly you become, I can instantly recognize you by your smell. How can you not recognize me? The more he thought about it, the sadder he became. Boo. What does he mean by smelling me? When did he become a little dog? Lung Ruoxue was at a loss for words. Freak, I'm sorry. I was scared because I wasn't mentally prepared. Lung Ruoxue said guiltily. Then kiss me and I'll forgive you. Freak took the opportunity to ask for a kiss. Let's not kiss first, okay? I think it's weird, Lung Ruoxue said tentatively. No, Schwer, you despise me. I didn't even despise you. In fact, you're also ugly. Freak choked with sobs. Don't cry. Fine, I'll kiss you. Who's afraid of who? Lung Ruoxue said stubbornly. With that, she pulled Freak's head closer, closed her eyes, steeled her heart, and kissed him. Well, even though his appearance has changed, he doesn't feel different. Fortunately, luckily, after kissing for a long while, Freak was finally satisfied. Schwer, you look so ugly, Freak teased with a chuckle. Really? Let me see. Lung Ruoxue took out a mirror from the bracelet and saw her current appearance through the mirror. Chapter 344. The Unlucky City Lord's Mansion. 3. Damn. Is this me? Freak made an understatement. Her current appearance wasn't something that could be described with the word ugly. In the mirror, her skin was yellow, her hair was dry, and her facial features weren't straight. Her mouth was crooked, one of her eyes was big, the other was small, her nose was red, and her body was a little swollen. In short, she was a woman too ugly to be called merely ugly. Freak, I've troubled you, Lung Ruoxue said very sincerely to Freak after admiring her appearance. It's okay. I don't mind, so you can't despise me either. Freak said coquettishly as his starry eyes welled up with tears. In fact, he was quite satisfied with Schwer's current appearance. This way, no man would have any ideas about his Schwer. Yes, I don't despise you. I was only a little uncomfortable just now. Did it hurt? Lung Ruoxue said with some heartache while lightly caressing the bruises on Freak's face. It doesn't hurt. I have thick skin. Your strength won't hurt me. Freak hugged Lung Ruoxue and smiled foolishly. That's good. Then Lung Ruoxue summoned Rise and ordered, Rise, go out and scout the situation. I guarantee to complete the task. Rise stared at Lung Ruoxue in disbelief for a long time before thinking, Boo, where is my incomparably beautiful female master? Freak, I'm a little depressed, Lung Ruoxue said leisurely after Rise disappeared. She didn't expect the effects of this appearance-changing pill to be so remarkable, actually changing her and Freak so thoroughly that even her own beasts almost couldn't recognize her. Schwer, it's okay. They will get used to it, Freak comforted. Okay, it'll make do first for our safety. Lung Ruoxue nodded. About half an hour later, Rise returned to the cell. Master, it's so lively outside now, Rise said happily while climbing onto Lung Ruoxue's wrist. Moreover, he had helped spread some rumors. Report it, Lung Ruoxue said with interest. Master, that naked woman is still hanging at the city gates. I heard that the city lord thought of many ways but couldn't save her from above. Many people have gone to the city gates to watch the commotion. Moreover, I hid in the crowd and told everyone what happened last night in the city lord's mansion. Windless City is almost a mess now, Rise said with a face full of pride. Well done, Lung Ruoxue praised. This is exactly the effect I want. The city lord must be so angry that he's about to vomit blood. Schwer, the city lord has lost all his face this time, Freak said with a smile. How dare he have designs on my woman? This punishment is still considered light. Freak, do you think the city lord will still look for us today? Lung Rua asked curiously. Of course. He can't count on his daughter anymore, so he still has to count on you. Freak said. Okay, let's prepare to welcome him. We'll give him a big gift then. A cunning smile appeared on Lung Ruoxue's beautiful face. Who do you want to welcome? A teasing voice sounded in the cell. Definitely not you. Why are you here again? Lung Ruoxue asked with a frown while looking at Lan Ming, who appeared in the cell. You're really too heartless. I rushed here early in the morning to see you, but you're actually treating me like this. Boo. I'm so sad. Lan Ming called out beautifully. Stop pretending. You're here to watch the show, right? Lung Ruoxue said in realization. I'm here to see if there's anything I can help with, and also see the commotion, Lan Ming said honestly. This morning, after hearing about the incident in the city lord's mansion, he immediately thought of Lung Ruoxue and Yi Chen, so he immediately rushed over. President Lan, if you want to watch the commotion, you seem to have come to the wrong place. The city lord's mansion is the most lively place now, Lung Ruoxue reminded. I don't want to go to the city lord's mansion. I'm more interested in you, Lan Ming said with slight fear, as if the city lord's mansion was a tiger's den. Lung Ruoxue couldn't help laughing hysterically. Of course, she knew what Lan Ming was afraid of. Those daughters of the city lord's mansion all regarded him as the most delicious food. It would be strange if he wasn't afraid. Is it very funny? Lan Ming said angrily. Lung Ruoxue turned her head and asked, Isn't it funny? Freak, do you think it's funny? President Lan, there's no need to be embarrassed. I understand you, Freak said sympathetically. Alas, being chased by unappetizing women is indeed not something to brag about. Thank you, but I want to know why you have become like this? Lan Ming was very curious. He would definitely be scared away by these two people in front of him if he didn't have good composure. Their appearance was really too unique. I've seen that face for a long time, and am a little tired of it, so I wanted to change to something new, Lung Ruoxue teased. But this is a little too new. I suggest you don't go out at night, or you will definitely be treated as ghosts, Lan Ming said very seriously. That can only mean that some people's mental fortitude needs to be strengthened, Lung Ruoxue said calmly. By the way, you were the ones behind what happened in the city lord's mansion last night, right? Lan Ming said with certainty even though it was a question. Would you believe me if I said no? Lung Ruoxue asked. No. No one in Windless City is so bold except for you, Lan Ming said understandingly. He still had this bit of judgment. Who said no one has the guts? Lung Ruoxue asked. Really? Why don't I know? Lan Ming was stunned. He had been in Windless City for several years, but he had never heard of anyone who dared to look down on the city lord. After all, the city lord was heaven to the people of Windless City. It's you. Lung Ruoxue said lightly. Me? You think too highly of me. I would have done something long ago if I had the guts, Lan Ming said pitifully with a bitter face. Chapter 345. The Unlucky City Lord's Mansion. 4. President, don't pretend to be pitiful. Your acting skills are too lousy, Lung Ruoxue said disdainfully. According to her guess, the reason why Lan Ming didn't take action against the City Lord's mansion was not that he didn't dare to, but that he didn't care for it. After all, with Lan Ming's status, a small City Lord's mansion was nothing. Alas! Can you not be so shrewd? I'm mainly too lazy to deal with those ants. Lan Ming's handsome face was full of disdain. Even ants will bite. You should get rid of them as soon as possible and don't keep them to cause trouble for yourself. Lung Ruoxue disagreed with his idea. In her opinion, any danger should be killed in the cradle. That's true. But you still haven't told me whether you were the ones behind what happened in the City Lord's mansion? Lan Ming asked stubbornly. If you think so, then so be it. Lung Ruoxue said ambiguously. It would be impossible to get an accurate answer from her mouth. Are you giving me a tongue twister? Lan Ming was speechless. This girl was really too difficult to deal with. Alas. Forget it. He wouldn't ask. No one else would dare to do this except them anyway. President Lan, you have to uphold justice for us when the City Lord comes. Lung Ruoxue suddenly said pitifully when she heard footsteps in the distance. Don't worry. I will definitely uphold justice for you, Lan Ming said cooperatively. President Lan, why are you here? A strong voice sounded in their ears as the footsteps approached. Our association's mystics were arrested by your second miss. As the president, how can I not come? Lan Ming snorted coldly. What? They are mystics? Zhu Binghuan was shocked and felt that something was amiss. He knew very well that the people locked in the cell were the people his daughter mentioned, and he was here for these two people today. What? Sir City Lord, don't you believe me? Lan Ming glanced at Zhu Binghuan coldly. Zhu Binghuan wiped the cold sweat off his forehead and said with a smile, President Lan, that's not what I mean. I just felt that I couldn't feel the aura of mystics on them, so I was a little curious. You're only a spiritual deity, yet you still want to feel the aura of mystics. What a delusion. You're daydreaming, Lan Ming said without giving him any face. If mystics couldn't hide their auras and allowed spiritual deities to sense them, they would be failures. President Lan, that's not what I mean. What I mean is that many mystics like to release their auras, so, Zhu Binghuan explained fearfully. City Lord Zhu, have you seen a true mystic powerhouse? Mystics who can become powerhouses are very low-key. Those that like to be smug can only be considered trash, Lan Ming said disdainfully. President Lan is right. Zhu Binghuan braced himself and agreed, but he couldn't help cursing in his heart. Damn, you're a powerhouse, so of course you don't care about ordinary mystics. But those mystics are already considered powerhouses in our eyes. Are you the people my daughter arrested because you stole her jewelry? Zhu Binghuan changed the topic and turned his gaze to the two people in the cell. But what he saw almost scared him out of his wits. Damn, where did these ghosts come from? They purely want to scare people. He had lived for dozens of years, but this was the first time he had seen people so ugly and unique. It was too shocking. Seeing the two people hugging each other in the cell, he deeply doubted his daughter's eyesight. Damn it, even if you don't want to marry that person from the Sun family, you don't have to find someone so ugly. Do you want to scare him to death? What was more infuriating was that Furong actually dared to recommend her to him, saying that the woman was a drop-dead gorgeous beauty. She made him think about her the entire night. In the end, he hurriedly settled the mess in the mansion this morning and then immediately rushed to the cell. However, not only did he not see any shadow of the beauty, but he even saw the ugliest woman in the world. What was even more unacceptable was that these two were actually mystics. Boo! Heaven is really too unfair. Such ugly people can actually become mystics. City Lord Pig, have you heard of mystics who steal? Lung Ruoxue questioned coldly. Zhu Binghuan was at a loss for words. Mystics had incomparably noble statuses on the boundless heaven continent. Therefore, he had really never heard of any mystic stealing. City Lord Pig, the public security of your windless city is really too poor. Not only do you throw things away, but you also casually arrest people, Freak added. Yes, City Lord Pig. You have to give our mystic association an explanation for this matter. Lan Ming also joined in the fun. I think this should be a misunderstanding. I'm really sorry you two. Zhu Binghuan felt cold sweat flowing down his back after hearing what Leng Ruoxue and the others said. Alas, his greatest wish now was that this matter could be reduced to a small matter. He didn't dare to provoke the mystic association after all. Boo! Do you think everything will be okay just because of a misunderstanding? Leng Ruoxue said indifferently, her eyes flashing with a terrifying light. That's right. We were wronged by your city lord's mansion and suffered serious mental damage, so you have to give us a satisfactory explanation. Otherwise, we will stay in this cell, Freak echoed. Zhu Binghuan was speechless. He couldn't help thinking, are these two going to rob me? You want an explanation from me? I was nearly scared shitless by you. Who should I ask for an explanation from? President Lan, what do you think? Zhu Binghuan turned his gaze to Lan Ming helplessly. Don't look at me. I can't solve this matter, Lan Ming declined. Hee, we were wrong to have wronged you too. Please state your requests. As long as I can do it, I will. Zhu Binghuan had to smile obsequiously at Leng Ruoxue and Freak since Lan Ming was unwilling to help. Chapter 346, The Unlucky City Lord's Mansion, 5. Sir City Lord is quite sensible. Leng Ruoxue nodded with appreciation. This is indeed our fault, Zhu Binghuan said good-naturedly, even though he was about to vomit blood from anger. Then we won't stand on the ceremony. This is the list of the compensation we're requesting. City Lord Pig, please take a look. Leng Ruoxue took out a piece of paper that she had prepared long ago and handed it to Pig Binghuan. I am willing to compensate as long as you two are willing to let this matter pass, Zhu Binghuan said through gritted teeth after looking at the list. The list had a lot of things, but it was not difficult to do with the wealth of the City Lord's mansion. At this moment, he still didn't know that the treasury of the City Lord's mansion had long been emptied. Alright, this matter will be resolved once City Lord Pug sends the compensation, Leng Ruoxue said readily. Can you two leave now? I'll arrange a place for you to stay, Zhu Binghuan said ingratiatingly. There's no need for lodging. This cell is pretty good, Freak said calmly. He was in no hurry to leave. No. How can people live here? Zhu Binghuan said anxiously. City Lord Pig, we don't dare to leave. If we leave and you renege on your promise, our loss will be immense, Leng Ruoxue said bluntly. I swear on my reputation that I won't go back on my word. Zhu Binghuan was depressed. Why were these two so difficult to deal with? It was so easy to invite a god but difficult to send one away. I'm sorry. We don't believe in so-called credibility, Freak said without giving face. Even though Zhu Binghuan was about to explode from anger, he still had to ask patiently, Then what do you want me to do so that you're willing to leave this place? You can choose to establish a contract. It's that simple. Leng Ruoxue reminded very kindly. Okay. Zhu Binghuan immediately established the contract without hesitation. As the contract array descended, the contract was formally established. Two little ancestors, is it okay now? Zhu Binghuan asked weakly. He wanted to invite these two gods of plague away even if he had to pray to them now. Just barely passable. Leng Ruoxue said with dissatisfaction. Hearing this, Zhu Binghuan felt like smashing his head against a piece of tofu. He already established a contract with them, but these two gods of plague were actually still not satisfied. Since the matter has been resolved, I'll take the two of them away. Lan Ming suppressed his smile while watching the commotion. Thank you, President Lan. Please take them away quickly. Zhu Binghuan said impatiently. City Lord Pig, you better prepare our compensation quickly. We don't have much patience, Freak reminded before leaving the cell. Then the two of them left the prison with Lan Ming. You are really too amazing. I'm impressed. Lan Ming couldn't help teasing them on the way to their new residence. President Lan, You haven't bought a ticket after watching the show for so long. Lung Ruoxue reminded lightly. Yes, what Schwer says is reasonable. You can't watch our show for nothing, Freak said very cooperatively. Lan Ming was stunned and then said speechlessly, Don't you care too much about money? I told you we're poor. Lung Ruoxue said nonchalantly. But you can't earn money from your friends, Lan Ming argued. Friends? Who are you talking about? Lung Ruoxue pretended to be stupid. Of course it's me. I'm already treating you as my friends, Lan Ming said very seriously. Oh, that's your problem. We haven't treated you as a friend yet. Freak said without giving him face. Lan Ming was so angry that he was at a loss for words. These two he really wanted to beat them up now. In fact, even if we treat you as a friend, we still have to collect the money. But we can give you a discount, Lung Ruoxue said seriously. I'm impressed. Lan Ming was so angry that he stopped talking. He only spoke again after bringing Lung Ruoxue and Freak to the residence he had arranged for them. Since Lan Ming didn't say anything, Lung Ruoxue and Freak naturally wouldn't take the initiative to speak with him. This is the place. Do you need anything else? Lan Ming asked. Lung Ruoxue and Freak looked at this house. In short, it was not bad. The yard was big enough, there were enough rooms, and the environment was good. Lung Ruoxue and Freak exchanged glances and said at the same time, We are very satisfied. That's good. Please stay here for the time being. Tell me if you have any other requests, Lan Ming reminded. Yes, President Lan. We intend to enter seclusion. If there's nothing important, it's best not to disturb us. As for the compensation from the pig family, please help us collect it first. This is the list. Lung Ruoxue handed Lan Ming a piece of paper. Okay, enter seclusion at ease. I'll help you settle the other things, Lan Ming promised. Lan Ming turned and left. After Lan Ming left, Lung Ruoxue and Freak randomly chose a room as their temporary residence. Schwer, do you think the pig family can still afford the compensation? Freak asked very curiously while hugging Lung Ruoxue and sitting in a chair in the room. They had taken away all the valuable things in the pig family yesterday. No problem. Don't underestimate the ability of this pig. Moreover, doesn't he have 2 daughters waiting to be married? Lung Ruoxue said with a face full of disdain. Much of the money in the pig family was earned by women for him. Schwer, looks like what happened this morning has already left him in a terrible fix. I'm really looking forward to seeing his expression when he sees all the wealth that he has accumulated for many years is gone. Freak smiled mischievously. What's so difficult about that? Well, no, if we go take a look. Lung Ruoxue said eagerly. Let's go now. Freak suggested. Lung Ruoxue nodded and summoned Quill from the bracelet. The two of them and the beast headed straight for the city lord's mansion. Chapter 347. Are you planning to rob us? 1. After reaching the city lord's mansion, Lung Ruoxue got Rise to cast an invisibility spell on them and hid in the dark. At this moment, City Lord Pig had just returned to the City Lord's mansion and already arranged for his newly promoted head steward to retrieve the items from the treasury according to the list while he sat waiting in the chair in the main hall. Alas! I hope this matter caused by Furong ends soon. After all, he couldn't afford to offend the Mystic Association. Husband, you have to uphold justice for our daughter. Zhu Furong's biological mother, the second madam of the City Lord's mansion, ran in with a crying face. She knelt in front of Zhu Binghuan and hugged his thigh tightly. What do you want now? Zhu Binghuan roared with a splitting headache. Damn it, every one of them makes me worry. His daughters were causing trouble outside all day, and these women in the family didn't stop either. Apart from being jealous, they actually dared to cuckold him. Husband, our daughter has suffered so much. You have to uphold justice for her. The second madam wailed. Uphold justice? What justice? Do you know who did it? Can you find them? Zhu Binghuan roared angrily. Damn, these troublesome women really think I'm omnipotent. Husband, Furong suspects that it was the 2 people she captured. Husband, we can't let them go, the second madam said fiercely. Boo-hoo, her daughter was basically ruined, so she had to find a scapegoat this time. Otherwise, her husband would definitely not let Farong off easily. You mean the two people in the cell did it? Zhu Binghuan questioned. Yes. Farong said that there could be no one else except them, the second madam said with certainty. Anyway, she would insist on this, and she believed that with her husband's ability, he could definitely convict the two of them even if there was no evidence. Alas, Farong can forget about marrying into a good family in the future since such a thing happened. Thus, she had to find someone to vent her anger on. And those two people were the two unlucky people? Weren't they locked up in the cell? How could they have the chance to do it? Zhu Binghuan continued to question. They must have escaped, the second madam guessed. Nonsense. Those two people were properly locked up in the cell. Moreover, do you know their identities? Zhu Binghuan roared furiously. He didn't even have the time to send those two plague gods away. How could he dare to cause them trouble? Husband, could it be that they have some extraordinary identity? The second madam asked doubtfully. That's impossible, isn't it? Farong said that they're just ordinary commoners. Moreover, they don't seem to have any background. Those two are from the Mystic Association. The Mystic Association. Do you dare make them into scapegoats? Zhu Binghuan roared. What a pig's head. No wonder her daughter is equally stupid. How is this possible? The second madam said in disbelief. Why not? President Lon said it himself. How could it be fake? Do you know how much wealth our Zhu family lost because of your good daughter? Go pack up for Farong and get her to marry into the Sun family 3 days later, Zhu Binghuan ordered resolutely. Husband, you can't treat Farong like this. She is your daughter, the second madam cried. She was unwilling to let her daughter marry into the Sun family. Even though the Sun family was one of the 3 great families, she knew very well what the situation with the Sun family was. Boo-hoo, none of the women who married into the Sun family could live for more than 3 years. I don't want a daughter who only knows how to cause trouble for me all day, Zhu Binghuan said ruthlessly. Husband. The second madam opened her mouth to say something, but Zhu Binghuan interrupted her. Say nothing else. I've already made up my mind, Zhu Binghuan said forcefully. Seeing that she could no longer do anything, the second madam wiped the tears off her face and was about to leave when she saw the head steward rushing into the main hall. Master, bad news. Our treasury has been robbed, the head steward said loudly. Boo-hoo, he was originally the deputy steward of the city lord's mansion. He had just replaced the head steward after the incident, but he didn't expect to encounter such a thing on the first day of his promotion. Boo! Zhu Binghuan grabbed the head steward's collar and roared with a red face. What did you say? Say it again. Master, our treasury was robbed, the head steward stammered. How is that possible? That place is very secretive. How could it be robbed? Zhu Binghuan really couldn't believe this. He was extremely confident in the security of his treasury. Master, look at this. The head steward handed him a piece of paper with trembling hands. Zhu Binghuan took the note, opened it, and read it. Then he crumpled the note fiercely and threw it on the ground while striding toward the treasury. When they arrived at the treasury, Zhu Binghuan looked at the empty treasury. Blood rushed to his head, and his vision darkened as he fainted. Husband! Master! The second madam and the head steward exclaimed as they rushed over to help Zhu Binghuan. My treasures! My lifelong collection! The first thing Zhu Binghuan did when he woke up was to cry loudly. Boo! All my treasures are gone. This was even more unbearable for him than losing his parents. Master, the second madam didn't know how to console him. Her heart ached too since all the money was gone. Boo! Steward, compile an announcement immediately to make this great sage, heaven's equal, a wanted person. Zhu Binghuan ordered with tears in his eyes. Yes, master. I'll go right away, the head steward hurriedly said while wiping the sweat off his forehead before turning to leave. Husband, what should we do? The second madam asked fearfully. How could their family live without this money? Who am I supposed to ask? Do you know that I have to compensate those two mystics because of your good daughter? Where am I supposed to find enough riches to compensate them now? Zhu Binghuan roared furiously. What a bunch of incompetent women. Boo-hoo. Chapter 348. Are you planning to rob us? 2. What kind of bad luck was this? Last night, his house was raided by spirit beasts, and this morning, people discovered that his favored concubine was having an affair with his steward and that his daughter seduced the guards. In addition, another daughter was hanging naked at the city gates. And now, he just discovered that the treasury was robbed. Boo-hoo, who was the one messing with him? Husband. The second madam choked up and didn't dare to spout nonsense. Boo. Hurry up and pack up for Farong. They'll send her to the Sun family tomorrow, Zhu Binghuan said ruthlessly. Yes. The second madam knew that her husband wouldn't change his mind now, so she could only resign herself to fate and pack her daughter's things. Zhu Binghuan stood alone in the huge treasury in a daze. His heart was bleeding. Great sage, heaven's equal, you better not let me find you or you're dead meat. After watching enough of the commotion, Leng Ruoxue and Freak left the city lord's mansion and returned to their residence. Ha! Swear, it's so funny. Freak laughed out loud when they returned to their room, feeling incomparably happy. Yes, according to my guess, there should be a lot of happy events happening in the city lord's mansion soon, Leng Ruoxue said with a light smile while leaning in Freak's arms. The city lord's mansion had suffered considerable losses, so Pig Binghuan would definitely be financially strapped during this period of time. Swear, he still has to think of a way to pay us the compensation. Freak said with a smile. Freak. Let's enter seclusion today. Leng Ruoxue said with a nod. Okay. Leng Ruoxue brought Freak into the bracelet. Leng Qingtian and the others, who were waiting for them, were shocked when they saw them. Heavens! Where did these ghosts come from? Lass, can you not be so scary? Old Zhao said exaggeratedly while clutching his chest. Even though they were already mentally prepared, the appearance of the girl and Brat Yi was really too shocking now. It was impossible for them to guard against them. Swear, are you sure? Leng Qingtian rubbed his eyes in disbelief. Grandpa, of course it's me. 2 drops of cold sweat dripped down Leng Ruoxue's forehead. Boo! Grandpa actually can't even recognize me anymore. Swear, will be very safe with such a getup. Leng Qingtian thought for a long time before he came up with something less rude. Alas! If this appearance isn't safe, then I will truly have to suspect the aesthetics of the men in this world, old man teased. Lin Liang stared at Leng Ruoxue and Yi Chen for a long time. Finally, he said, Give me one. I want to change my appearance too. I'll give each of you one. Leng Ruoxue gave each of them a pill. She and Freak couldn't be the only ones who'd changed their appearances. Moreover, she was also a little curious about what the others would look like after taking the appearance-changing pill. Leng Qingtian and the others took the pills and put them in their mouths at the same time. Grandpa, this pill will take effect an hour later, Leng Ruoxue explained. Oh, then let's wait for an hour. Leng Qingtian said with interest. An hour later, the appearance-changing pill took effect. Leng Ruoxue watched helplessly as her grandfather went from a tall and handsome middle-aged man to a short and thin little old man. Moreover, he was an incomparably ugly little old man. As for the short old Zhao, he became taller. Old Man and Lin Liang were also very different from their original selves. If she didn't know that the people in front of her were them, she wouldn't have recognized them at all. This new appearance-changing pill was really too magical. Swear, how long will this appearance-changing pill last? Leng Qingtian looked at his new appearance and was completely depressed because it was really too ugly. Boo! 3 months. Leng Ruoxue said after some thought. Really? So long? Leng Qingtian frowned. Boo-hoo. He couldn't even take it for a day. Grandpa, don't worry. This appearance-changing pill has an antidote. Leng Ruoxue teased happily. I didn't expect Grandpa, a big man, to care so much about his appearance. Oh, that's good. Lung Qingtian was relieved to hear his granddaughter's words. Ruoxue, your appearance-changing pill is really amazing. Lin Liang exclaimed. This was much better than ordinary appearance-changing pills. Ordinary ones could change the appearance at best but not the body shape, so people especially familiar with them could still recognize them. But this small pill even changed the body shape. Even people they were familiar with couldn't recognize them. This was really a necessity for escaping. Yes, in the future, no one will know that we're the ones doing bad things as long as we take an appearance-changing pill. Lung Ruoxue said with a naughty smile. Ah. Lung Qingtian and the others were at a loss for words upon hearing this. This girl was actually addicted to doing bad things. But doing bad things really felt good. Grandpa, City Lord Pig is looking for the great sage, heaven's equal all over the world now. Lung Ruoxue teased. Little girl, who is this great sage, heaven's equal? Will there be any trouble if you push the blame onto him? Old man said worriedly. And he couldn't help thinking, does little girl have a grudge against that great sage, heaven's equal? Why else would she make him the scapegoat? The great sage, heaven's equal is actually just a person I made up. There isn't someone like that in this world. Lung Ruoxue explained with 2 drops of cold sweat dripping down her forehead. Oh, that's good. Old man was relieved. Grandpa, I've already promised President Lon to participate in the Mystic Association's competition in a month. Moreover, the rewards for the competition are very generous, so we should take advantage of this month to cultivate diligently and strive to attain all the rewards. Lung Ruoxue said. If we can win those rewards, coupled with the remuneration that President Lon will pay us, we won't be so short of money, Lung Qingtian said happily. They were aware of the deal between Lan Ming and Shuer in the cell that day. So if they could obtain good results, they would be able to accumulate wealth. Chapter 349. Are you planning to rob us? 3. Grandpa, let's enter seclusion from today onward. I've already spoken with President Lon. There should be no one disturbing us, Lung Ruoxue said. Okay, let's try to break through. Lung Qingtian walked toward his residence and prepared to enter seclusion as soon as possible. Lin Liang and the others also dispersed. Qingju, Lung Ruoxue called out softly to the void. Big sister. Qingju appeared. Qingju, everyone plans to enter seclusion for a month. If there's anything important, wake me up. If not, wake us up a month later, Lung Ruoxue ordered. Okay, big sister, Qingju answered. After settling everything, Lung Ruoxue walked into the purple bamboo house with Freak. A month passed by quickly. Lung Ruoxue and the others in the Heaven and Earth bracelet absorbed the rich spiritual energy in the space day and night. Everyone gained a lot. While cultivating, Lung Ruoxue vaguely felt that she was about to break through, so she opened her eyes. She looked at the time. It had actually been a month. Time really passed quickly. During this month, she had absorbed a lot of spiritual energy and converted it into mystic power. Now, the mystic power in her body had roughly accumulated to about 1/3. It wasn't a lot, but breaking through to elementary mystic wouldn't be a problem. But it would probably take a long time if she wanted to break through the 4th level of the heaven-defying art. Moreover, after breaking through the 4th level, her strength would be equivalent to the great mystics of this world. After breaking through the 5th level, her strength would be equivalent to the mystic supremacies of this world. Only at that time would she become a true powerhouse of this world, and her natal flame would also be close to perfection. Shuer, you're awake? Freak was overjoyed when he opened his eyes and found that Shuer woke up earlier than him. I just woke up. You are going to break through? Lung Ruoxue said while looking at Freak. Yes, Shuer. We can all break through and become elementary mystics before the competition, Freak said. He wanted to break through with Shuer. Freak, let's go out. I wonder if Grandpa and the others are awake yet, Lung Ruoxue said while looking at Freak. Okay. They stood up and walked out of the purple bamboo house. Big sister, you're awake, Qingju said. Yes, Qingju, you've worked hard. Lung Ruoxue caressed Qingju's little head. Qingju didn't do much. Big sister, President Lan came twice in the past month, and City Lord Pig came a few times. But they were both stopped by Rise, Qingju reported. He had sent Rise out to look after the residents ever since his big sister and the others went into seclusion, so Rise sent all those people back. Oh, did they say anything important? Lung Ruoxue asked. President Lan came to take a look. As for City Lord Pig, it's about the compensation. But Rise already asked him to look for President Lan according to Big Sister's instructions, Qingju explained. Yes, well done. Lung Ruoxue nodded. She was becoming more and more satisfied with her beast's ability to handle situations. Qingju, has Grandpa and the others emerged from seclusion? Lung Ruoxue asked. Although everything in her space was under her control, she didn't need to worry about it since Qingju was here. Qingju raised his little head and asked, No. Do you want me to wake them up? Not for now. Wake them when we set off. I'll go find President Lan, Lung Ruoxue said after some thought. Lung Ruoxue brought Freak out of the bracelet and saw Rise in his original form basking under the sun in the yard, looking very comfortable and leisurely. Seeing Rise's body that was as huge as a small mountain, Lung Ruoxue couldn't help laughing. Alas, outsiders might faint from fright if they saw Rise's current appearance. Master! After sensing his master's aura, Rise quickly transformed, wrapped himself around Lung Ruoxue's snow-white wrist, and kept acting coquettishly. Lung Ruoxue caressed his soft body and said softly, You're quite good at enjoying yourself. Hee, it's okay. Rise said shyly and hid his little head under his body. Lung Ruoxue smiled helplessly and then said to Freak, Freak, let's go find President Lan. Okay. Freak nodded. The two of them left the residence and walked toward the Mystic Association. When they arrived at the Mystic Association, someone welcomed Lung Ruoxue and Freak warmly. Hello, are you two here to convert your spiritual power? The receptionist asked politely and warmly. Lung Ruoxue looked at the male receptionist she had never seen and asked curiously, Are you new? Yes, I've only been here for a month, the receptionist explained. Oh, we're here to look for President Lan. Lung Ruoxue nodded in realization. Please wait a moment. I'll go notify him, the receptionist said respectfully. He definitely didn't dare to neglect anyone who came to look for President Lan. Okay. Lung Ruoxue pulled Freak to a seat in the hall after the receptionist went upstairs to report. A moment later, the receptionist came down from the second floor. He walked to Lung Ruoxue and Freak and said, The president invites you up. Okay. Lung Ruoxue and Freak stood up and went straight to the door of the president's room on the second floor. They knocked and directly pushed the door open. You two are finally willing to come out, Lan Ming said helplessly. Alas. They wouldn't have been able to make it in time if they came out any later. Didn't we say we would enter seclusion? What's the rush? Lung Ruoxue said with a light smile. Lan Ming rolled his eyes at Lung Ruoxue and said lightly, I was afraid that you would be in seclusion for too long. President Lan, you have to learn to trust us. I will definitely keep my promise, Lung Ruoxue said confidently. Yes, little ancestor. I was wrong, okay? Lan Ming didn't know what to do with them. He had given it much thought during this month, and he was clearly not their match. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.